Alice, where are you right now? It's already 7. Come home, it's getting late.
It's only 7. Stop messaging me about things like this.
Don't start this again. You're the one who always tells me to text you when it gets late. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. I'm worried. Hurry and come home.
Ugh, man, you're so annoying. I'm not coming home tonight. I'm going to stay at a friend's house tonight.
What? I didn't hear anything about this.
That's because I didn't tell you. The two of us are going to an amusement park tomorrow. So it's better to stay there and go in the morning together.
Tomorrow? You can't go tomorrow. Tomorrow is the anniversary of your mom's death. We have to go to the cemetery.
I'm gonna have to give it a miss. You can go on your own.
What? You're not coming? But we go together every year.
Well, this year, I'm not going.
Don't say something like that. It's your mom. You have to go.
No, it's fine. I promised my friend ages ago. I'm not gonna turn her down now the day before. Besides, rather than focusing on the past, I want to focus on my friends in the present.
I see. You're right that you should treat your friends well. Okay, fine. This year I'll go by myself.
Anyway, at my age, I don't want to be going anywhere with you. Stop inviting me everywhere. It's annoying.
Right. Okay. I won't invite you anywhere anymore.
Thanks.
But can you at least promise me one thing? If you're going to be coming home late or staying over at someone's, can you at least tell me beforehand?
Why should I do that?
Because otherwise I'll be worried. I'm your dad. Of course I worry about you if you don't come home.
My dad? We're not related. You're just my stepdad.
I know that. But I have still raised you as my own daughter. You're an important member of my family, even if we're not related by blood.
Gross. I don't want to hear things like that from you. It's embarrassing.
Oh, I'm sorry. But it's how I really feel.
Okay, well, you can think like that on your own. I don't care about you at all.
Don't say that. I made a promise to your mom before she passed that I would look after you. She was always worried about what would happen to you after she was gone.
I would have preferred to just end up on my own. I hate living with you when you're barely scraping by. I can't think of anything worse than living with some old man.
It's not like we're barely scraping by, though. Sure, we're not rich, but we're fine.
No, we're not! All of my parents' friends buy them things whenever they want. You only get me things on my birthday and Christmas.
But I give you an allowance to spend how you want, too.
That's nothing. $200 a month isn't enough to do anything.
What are you saying? $200 is a lot for someone your age. When I was your age, I only got $50 a month at best.
Things are different now. Everything costs more than it did back then. Plus, as a girl, I have to buy clothes and makeup as well. We need way more money than boys.
It's not like I'm giving you that amount for no reason. I asked people who have experience raising children. I decided on an amount that's not too high and not too low. If you think it's not enough, then that's because of the way you're spending it.
Listen, all I've gotten from you are bad childhood memories. And everyone looks at me and feels sorry that I'm not as lucky as they are. Do I really have to live like this all of the time? At least raise my allowance.
Okay, fine. I'll give you an extra $100 a month from now on.
That's not enough. I want 1,000.
That's way too much. I'll give you $300 a month, and that's already a good deal for you. If you want more money, then go get a part-time job.
What? You don't understand a single thing about me. You're such a stingy old man.
Alice, I got a weird letter today. It's addressed to you, but it doesn't say who it's from. Does that ring any bells?
Just throw it all away. It's probably just the girl whose boyfriend I stole writing to complain. Can you believe she would send letters to my house? What a creep. That's why she wasn't able to keep her boyfriend in the first place.
You stole someone's boyfriend? Was there some kind of trouble?
I'm talking about my fiancé. He had a girlfriend before he met me, but of course I won out.
Stop doing things like that. You're going to cause trouble for yourself. You don't want people to have grudges against you. It never ends well.
Ugh, stop trying to lecture me here. I'm already 25. I don't need your advice.
It's exactly because you're 25 that you need to stop doing things like this. Stop going out of your way to make enemies.
She's the one who's at fault in the first place. So she's the creep for holding anything against me. She should have been better if she wanted to keep her guy. Anyway, thanks to her being like that, I'm now going to get married. I'm going to have a good life with him, so I'm not scared of any enemies.
Something bad will happen one day.
Nothing has happened yet, so I'll risk it. I have good luck.
I see. Okay, then I won't say anything about it.
Yeah, don't. Your lectures are so annoying.
Sorry about that. By the way, have you chosen where you're going to hold the wedding?
I'm looking at a bunch of places right now. There's no way I want to compromise on my wedding day, so I'm looking at all of my options.
Hey Alice, I heard that you're looking for your biological father. You're not planning on inviting him to the wedding, are you?
What? Who did you hear that from? How do you know something like that?
So you really are looking for him?
Yeah? And so what? He is my real father after all. It's normal to want to meet him.
You should stop looking for him. I've told you many times before, but it's better not to get involved with him.
All you ever do is talk badly of my real dad. What's up with that? Stop doing that, will you? I'm looking for him because I want to meet him. I don't care what you say.
Why do you think your mom broke up with him in the first place? He's not a good guy, and you shouldn't get involved.
I've only heard Mom's side of the story. I don't actually know what happened between them when they were married. It doesn't make sense to put all the blame on the dad.
You must still remember a bit from when your mom first left him, though, right? She was completely haggard and burnt out. He was definitely the cause of that.
I don't believe everything that Mom said. I've still not gotten Dad's side of it. Maybe I would have been way happier if he'd gotten custody of me instead of Mom.
How could you even say that?
What, you think I've been happy until now? In the end, Mom died anyway, and then I was left with you to take care of me.
I told you that I have always thought of you and raised you as my own daughter. It doesn't matter that we're not related by blood.
I don't agree with that. It matters to me. If we're not related by blood, then you're just a complete stranger to me. Of course I would want to find my real dad. I want him to be there on my wedding day and see me in my dress.
I don't want you to feel regret about this. You'll probably be really disappointed when you actually meet him.
I know that you have something against him. That's why you keep talking badly about him. I get it, so just stop it already.
That's not true. I've told you countless times that I heard from your mom what kind of person he was.
But you never actually met him in person, have you? So how can you know if any of that is actually true? Other relatives have told me that he was a really good guy.
What? Who told you something like that?
It doesn't matter who told me. They also said that the real reason they divorced was unclear. And there are plenty of people who badmouth their ex after they break up. I bet Mom was one of those people. Dad is probably actually a really good person.
You can't trust the words of someone who doesn't know your dad that well. Maybe he seems nice on the surface, but you have to think about what his real personality might be like.
You also don't know anything about him. You've never met. So how am I supposed to trust anything you say about him? That's why I want to meet him myself and decide. I'm not a kid anymore. I don't have to listen to what you tell me to do. Just leave me alone.
Okay, fine. I won't be saying anything else. But remember that I warned you. Do what you want. Alice, I heard that you chose the wedding location. Have you also chosen the date?
Yeah, the date's all set. I also know when I'm moving out of here.
You're going to move in with your fiancé and his parents, right?
Yeah, we'll live there until we find a place of our own.
I guess the time for us to part has finally come. It'll be lonely here.
Yeah? I can't wait to get out of here. There will never be a reason for me to come back either.
Really? Do you really hate me that much?
It's all your fault that I couldn't be happy growing up. I don't care if you feel sad or lonely. Don't think that I share those feelings. I wish that my dad had been the one to take me instead of Mom.
You're still going on about that?
I say that because I met him. I found him.
Wait, what? You met your dad?
Yeah, and everything I heard from you and Mom was completely wrong.
What did you talk to him about?
Nothing in particular. Just how things have been and what's been going on in our lives.
I see. Was there anything else? Did he say or do anything to you?
What? Don't come at me asking things like that.
But I am still worried about you, even if you're now an adult.
I don't need you to worry about me. I'm fine without you. Oh, and by the way, I have some important information about the wedding. Turns out my real dad is the CEO of a company, and I'm going to invite him to walk me down the aisle. So, you're not allowed to come.
Wait, Alice. Don't get involved with that man. It's dangerous.
Again with these lies! I've had enough! I know that you were just making up lies about him so that I didn't go looking for him, but I won't fall for that anymore. I've actually met him now and know that he is actually a really nice person.
Are you seriously going to invite him to the wedding? Even though I was the one who raised you? You're going to just go over to him after everything?
If you had raised me better, I would have allowed you to come. But I feel nothing but resentment towards you. Because of you, I had nothing but memories of a miserable childhood.
Miserable? What are you talking about?
You never bought me all of the things I wanted. The allowance you gave me was never enough for anything either. If I had the chance to live with my dad, I know that never would have been a problem.
Don't you think you're raising the bar too much here? You act like you grew up poor, but we're entirely middle class. You need to get rid of that greedy attitude towards money. It's going to affect your marriage in the end.
Don't lecture me, you're nothing more than a stranger. And besides, my fiancé's family is rich. If anything, they think about money the exact same way I do. And my real dad is rich too. You're the only poor one in my life.
I raised you as my own daughter.
Well, I've never thought of you as my father. Look at me now. I'm marrying into a rich family and I have reunited with my wealthy father. This is exactly the life that I was always supposed to have. I was never supposed to live with a commoner like you.
Do you know how upset your mother would be to hear this?
I don't care. She was an idiot herself. She divorced her wealthy husband and married a commoner like you instead. It's probably because she was such an idiot that she developed a tumor and died so young. Or maybe it was because of her illness that she wasn't able to think clearly and made such poor decisions.
Don't talk that way about your mom. Whatever, I've had enough. I hope you don't regret this later. I won't think of you as my daughter from now on. That's what you want, isn't it?
There's no way I will regret this. Never message me again. Goodbye forever. Dad, help me. I can't take this anymore.
What do you want? Didn't you say to never contact you again?
Oh, just forget about that. You're the only person I can go to.
What are you on about? Even though I raised you your whole life, you didn't even let me come to your wedding. Then you dismissed me as some commoner who you never considered to be your dad?
I know I said that, but things didn't work out as I thought they would. Everything started turning sour.
Yeah, like what?
I'm talking about my real dad. At first, he was really kind, and I thought that he was a good person, but then he started to change.
Started to change? Be more clear. I'm busy and I don't have time to try and read between the lines of what you're saying.
He started to ask me for money and then threatened me when I refused.
I see. That's why I told you to not get involved with him.
Why is he asking his daughter for money? He has his own business, so he should have plenty of money of his own.
You were tricked, obviously. How many times did I tell you that he wasn't a good person?
Tell me everything that you know about him. He seems really scary. He keeps following me around and demanding money. He even came into the house and started demanding money from my in-laws. Everyone is really fed up with his behavior.
And so what? Why come to me now?
You know about him. I want you to tell me what you know. Why did he and my mom actually divorce?
I told you before already.
I know, but I want you to tell me in more detail.
You said that nothing I say about him can be trusted, didn't you?
The situation was different back then. Stop beating around the bush and just tell me.
Man, you're unbelievable. Is that how you speak to someone that you come to ask a favor of? Especially considering the last things you said to me.
I'm sorry about that. I was riding a high at the time and said some cruel things to you. I apologize for it, so please just tell me.
I don't have any hard evidence for it, so I can't say it's 100% true. But your mother said that he is probably involved in some criminal activities.
What? He's a criminal?
He told you that he's a CEO, right? But if you look up the address of his supposed company, the only thing that comes up is a ramshackle hut. It's just a front.
What do you mean?
It's probably just the address of a shell company.
What's that?
It's a company that is registered as a legitimate business, but acts as a shield for other criminal dealings. Your dad is most likely involved in some criminal organization that uses that company to hide how they use their money, or for money laundering. Your mom didn't want you to get involved in all that and ran away from him, taking you with her, of course.
Well, that's not good. That means he's a bad guy, right?
I told you that your mom said he had two faces. He knows how to be nice and is good at winning people over. That way, he tricks everyone at first. But then when he reveals his true face, things get bad. What do you think? Does that sound about right? I've never met the guy, so I can't really say.
That sounds exactly like him. Even when he's laughing, if you look at his eyes, they're not. And he becomes really threatening when I don't want to give him money. I always feel that he might even resort to violence sometime.
I guess you did finally realize what his true self is. That's the kind of person your father is. You always were a troublemaker as well, so I guess you got it from him.
Don't compare me to someone like him. He never listens to what anyone says, and even if I bring up the police or anything like that, he still comes to my in-laws' house. At this rate, he's going to bleed us dry.
Well, he probably has a group of criminals behind him, so I doubt he cares that much about the police. I guess your luck ran out the moment you made contact with him.
Why didn't you tell me any of this before? Did you keep quiet on purpose?
Every time I tried to talk to you about him, you would tell me to shut it. Then you would say it has nothing to do with me. Don't push responsibility onto others.
But you never told me just how bad he was. If I had known this, I never would have wanted to meet him.
You didn't listen to me no matter what I tried to say to you. I warned you countless times. You made up some story in your head about what he was like and approached him of your own choice. You brought this onto yourself. So from now on, you better do your best to get along with him real nice.
Why would you say something like that when you know that I'm in such a bad spot? How could you be so cruel to your own daughter?
You're not my daughter anymore. Did you forget that already? That's what you wanted to happen. Any bonds we might have had as a parent and a child are gone. In the end, I'm just some random stranger that has no blood relation to you. In that case, I don't feel a single thing. I'm just a stranger after all.
Don't say that, and please help me. I know I said some cruel things, but I'm sorry about that.
I don't care what strangers say to me. It doesn't matter to me at all.
I just didn't know the truth of the situation. I never thought that my real dad would be such a scumbag. Now even my relationship with my in-laws is getting worse because of him. In the end, you're the only one I can rely on for help.
Things aren't going well with your in-laws either?
That's because of how my dad acts towards them. Ever since then, they've started to view me with contempt, saying that they wish their son hadn't married me and complaining about me every day.
Well, I'm not surprised since you brought such a burden onto them. Imagine their daughter-in-law's father barging into the house, demanding money from them. Anyone would be angry to have to deal with that.
But it's not my fault. I'm also a victim here.
It's true that it's not your fault that your dad is such a scumbag, but it's your fault that you went after him and dragged him into other people's lives. I warned you so many times, but you just ignored me. And on top of that, you made fun of me and your mother.
I'm really sorry about everything I said. I want to go back to how it was before. Will you let me move back in with you? I want to get a divorce, but I don't think I'm brave enough to do it on my own.
You want me to support you again? Give me a break. I'm done with raising children.
Even if it's just for a short time. Please? I finally realized that you were always the one who thought about and cared for me the most.
So, you get into trouble and you finally realize that and come to me for help? Isn't that convenient? I'm just some guy who wasn't able to become your dad. I'm not going to be used by you anymore. Don't come asking a stranger like me for help when you're in trouble. After that, Alice kept being followed by her father, and he kept demanding money from her. There were times when she felt in danger and called the police, but they didn't do anything or pay any attention to her. Even with her calling the police, her dad didn't let up and kept on hanging around asking for money. Once her in-laws found out that her father really was involved in criminal activities, her mother-in-law couldn't take it very well. She ended up in the hospital with stress-induced complications in her gut, leading to a very awkward situation for Alice. In the end, to try and get away from him, they all abandoned the house and moved somewhere else. Alice took the full blame for everything with her in-laws and husband constantly blaming her for bringing the situation about. Alice messaged me for help again and again, but each time I didn't change my stance and refused to help her. I feel bad for my deceased wife, but all the feelings that I had for Alice as my daughter have completely disappeared. In order for me to also completely cut any ties that I had with Alice, I sold the house where she had grown up, and am now living a peaceful life in a small house on my own. Although I used to feel sad whenever Alice would tell me that she didn't care about me or consider me her father, I don't feel even the slightest shred of loneliness now. If anything, I feel like a big weight has been lifted from my shoulders. From now, I'm just going to focus on myself and try to live the rest of my days out in peace.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hello, Mary. Can I go over to your place now? I just bought a cake for Bobby. This famous pastry chef downtown made it especially for him. Oh, I'm sure Bobby would just love it. Oh, hello, Mom. Thanks. Just asking, but did you buy anything for Aaron? Huh? For Aaron? Of course not. I only got enough for Bobby. I see. Mom, I keep telling you, Bobby is not my only child. You do realize that I have a daughter, too. Your granddaughter, Erin? Or have you forgotten? Don't you think it would hurt Erin's feelings if you just buy something for Bobby? I'm sorry, but if you don't have something for the both of them, I can't accept it. But I didn't buy her any. What am I supposed to do? I can't go back and order it again. I reserved this days before. Besides, why should Bobby have to sit back and go along with it? Oh, poor Bobby. You have to give priority to your eldest. The younger must be patient and wait her turn. That's how it's always been. If you don't teach them a little patience, she'll grow up to be a spoiled little brat. What you're saying is really contradictory. You're spoiling Bobby. I would appreciate it if you would stop. You're always doting over Bobby and completely ignoring Erin. You're also constantly giving Bobby allowances and again, not a dime for Erin. Also, nothing for Erin on her birthday or Christmas, only for Bobby. What's up with that? Don't you see that Erin is hurt by your actions? I can't understand why you can't treat them equally. They are both your grandchildren, for Pete's sake. I can't help it. Boys are so much more affectionate. I just can't force myself to have affection for a child I don't feel is attractive. And you know girls, they grow up and get married. They become complete strangers after they grow up. It's just a waste of time, spent too much energy on them. And Erin, sometimes I don't even know if she's in the room, she's so quiet. A waste of time? What exactly do you mean by that? I didn't really need a second grandchild. Bobby was adequate. What I mean is, you shouldn't have had Erin. This whole having another child thing was just a total waste of time. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, girls eventually leave home. They're of no use. Yes, no need for girls. To be honest, Bobby is enough for me. I would much rather spend all my money on Bobby. I cannot believe your attitude. That's such an awful thing to say. Both Bobby and Erin are my children, and we love them dearly. Both of them are dear to us. I can't stand by and listen to you call my child a waste or no use. That's just plain cruel. If you intend to ignore or show disdain toward Erin, you are not welcome in our home. But it's the truth, isn't it? I mean, we can clearly see that Bobby is negatively impacted by having a younger sister. Because of Erin, my poor grandson had to give up on attending that private school and had to settle for that mediocre public school. You said if you didn't do that, you wouldn't be able to send both of them to university. You got it all wrong, Mother. I think your memory is a little out of whack. I remember I explained all that to you in detail several times. The only person that wanted him to go to a private school was you. It was Bobby's wish to go to a public school. He didn't want to part with his friends. Some of them he's known since kindergarten. I don't intend to force him to a school he has no desire of attending. But for his future, he should go to a good school. Oh, think ahead, would you? Besides, he should stop seeing those second-rate kids. Ugh, nothing good will come of keeping such a friendship going, in my opinion. If you can't afford it, all you have to do is not send Erin to college. Simple as that. Girls don't need a higher education. What use is it? Are you still living in the 1950s or something? Do you really think your way of thinking passes in this day and age? And for your information, Erin is not the reason we can't afford a private school. We were never that well off to begin with. Do you realize how much tuition is at that private school? Add in transportation costs, extracurricular activities, there are all kinds of additional expenses involved. Please don't interfere with our personal family matters. I'm just saying this because I'm his grandmother and I worry about his future. Oh, he shouldn't have to suffer in silence for the sake of a useless younger sister. Oh, poor Bobby. If you're so concerned about transportation, you should have him stay at my place and have him go to school from here. That school is very close to our home, you know. Oh, I see where you're going with this. You want him to live with you, is that it? So, you want him to go to that private school, but your actual motive is for him to live with you. Just thinking about his future. Yeah, right. Obviously, you're only thinking about yourself. Yes, that's right. That's the sensible way, don't you agree? I'll take good care of Bobby. You can lavish all your affection on Erin. It's a win-win situation. That way, we'll be able to give them all the affection they need on an equal basis. I'm sorry, but we seem to be on completely different wavelengths. I'm going to say this one last time. Bobby will not be attending a private school, nor is he going to be living with you. If you ever say anything derogatory or cruel to Erin ever again, you will never set foot in our home again. Do I make myself clear? Oh, all right. Oh, calm down. My, what an unreasonable daughter-in-law. Hello? Mary? Would you please pick up? Aren't you home? Where are you? Oh, this key doesn't seem to work. I can't get in. Hello, Mother? What's up? You didn't mention you were stopping by today. Is there something I can help you with? Yes, I stopped by to drop off some clothes for Bobby. Picked out some nice items at the department store. And don't worry, I bought some things for Erin too. if you're not home now, I can come back later. We won't be returning to that house anymore. We already moved out. Huh? You moved out? Out of this house? Why did you do that? Oh, come on, please. Don't act all innocent. Did you really forget what you've been doing the last month? I warned you many times, Mother. But you didn't listen. You went ahead and made an extra key. You come to our house without telling us first. And what's more, you continue to ignore Aaron. My husband asked you repeatedly, and you finally brought a gift for Aaron, but you brought Bobby this wonderful chocolate cake, but for Aaron, a Snickers bar? Really? Have you no compassion? She was really hurt by that, you know. You just ignored all my warnings. No matter how many times I explained things to you, it just went in one ear and came out the other. And that's why you just moved out without even telling me? Oh, what a complete waste of money. Yes, you're right about that. It was way over our budget, and packing all of our stuff and moving out into the new place was not exactly fun. But to be honest, the kids and I are quite relieved. The kids are smiling again. They no longer have to suffer from your constant presence and rudeness. The amount of stress you caused our family this past month is immeasurable. Me? Causing stress? That's right. So we decided that until both Bobby and Aaron insist that we see you, which I honestly don't see happening, I'm sorry, but we all decided that we would no longer see you. Needless to say, you're not welcome at our new home. If you even think about coming to the kids' school, I will alert the authorities. Oh, you can't do this! Are you saying you're taking my grandson away from me? Taking him away? It's Bobby that doesn't want to see you. You don't seem to care when to show up. Whether he's studying for an exam or just hanging out with friends, you barge in unannounced. Then you disparage his younger sister right in front of him and his friends, going on and on about taking that entrance exam for that private school that he doesn't even want to go to, and berating him for having such loser friends. I don't blame him for not wanting to see you. He told me he doesn't even want to see Grandma's face for a while. You're lying. Bobby would never say such a thing about me. Okay, then why don't you ask him yourself? I'm sure you already know his line contact. Oh, you can be sure I'll do that. Bobby wouldn't dare say such a thing. He would be more than happy to come and live with me. If he says he's willing to come and live with me and attend that private school, I'll invite him over right away. Are you okay with that? Sure, do as you like. Bobby, are you there? You're on my side, aren't you, Bobby? I heard that you moved out. Oh, I'm sure your mother forced you to move. Oh, how could she do that to my dear grandson? You should really think about your future and cut ties with that awful family, especially your mother. You're welcome to come and live with me anytime. If you do, I'll make sure you can go to that private school. I guarantee it.
Ah, Grandma, how many times do I have to keep repeating myself? I told you 100 million times that I have no intention of going to private school. I'm really getting tired of this. Why won't you listen? It's like I'm talking to a wall, for God's sake.
Bobby, how could you say that to your grandmother? I'm just saying this because I'm concerned about your future. You would be much happier if you come and live with me.
Please, give me a break, Grandma. I don't want some old fogey deciding my future. Me? Living with an old hag like you? I mean, please. I just can't picture it.
Huh?
I think you really are hard of hearing. Like I said, I have no intention of living with a nagging old hag. I mean, what for? Think about it. You live pretty far away, and I won't be able to see my friends anymore. I really don't see the upside to all this. And that house is old. Bugs all over that old dump. The place stinks, to be honest. What's more, there are no malls or even a Starbucks nearby, and you expect me to live in such a place with the Wicked Witch of the North? Spare me! It's like I'm being punished or something.
Punished?
Yeah, it's like I'm being penalized for something. What did I do to deserve this? At the old place, you would barge in all of a sudden, whether I was doing my homework or just watching a movie with Aaron. You start up with your nonsense, blabbering on and on about me attending some far-off school or bringing me sweets I don't even like. To be honest, I prefer Snickers. I just got so sick of it. Live with you. God, no way. No thanks.
No? Why? Why would you say that? I thought...
You want to know the truth? Okay, I'll say it straight out. I despise you. A nagging old lady. That's all you are.
Huh? Despite? But why?
For one, because you pick on Mom and Aaron. How many times has Mom told you not to be rude to Aaron? But no! You ignore her and keep disparaging her. You treat her like trash. That's why I despise you. Well, I love my little sister, and I don't want anything to do with an old hag like you.
Huh? You're not serious. But I treated you so well. Bought you all those gifts. Showered you with love.
Yeah, well, when I was a kid, I was happy to get stuff from you. But you never give anything to Aaron. And when I get something, she really looks sad. When I first learned that you were shunning Aaron, well, that's when I started to despise you. So please, just leave our family alone, would you? And don't come to our new home. You're not welcome.
No, you can't speak to your grandmother like that. That will just not do. Oh, you're my precious grandson. You're the one who will take after this household.
See? You're always going off on your own. I'm going to decide my future, and nobody else. Much less an old witch like you. I will never allow you to make Aaron feel like that again.
But you can't just...
Anyway, I'm busy. Gotta unpack my things and clean up my new room. Don't go calling us anymore. We want nothing to do with you, old lady.
Huh? Are you joking? Please, wait. Please, Bobby! After Bobby told her off, Grandma frantically tried to find our new home. She went as far as going to Bobby's school and tried to get him to come home with her. The situation got out of hand, and his friends pulled the alarm bell, causing the police to intervene. Although no serious charges were brought, they gave her a severe reprimand for her actions. Bobby was so pissed off, he yelled, "Get out of here, you old witch!" in front of the whole school. That outburst from Bobby really hit her hard. As for me, I told her if she ever comes anywhere near Bobby again, I plan to take some sort of legal action against her. That seemed to do the trick. After that, we didn't hear from her again. Because of that, our family atmosphere changed drastically for the better. Bobby and Aaron both seem much more positive in their daily lives. Maybe we should have moved out a lot sooner.
Steve, you're wasting your time at home again, aren't you?
What? What do you mean? I'm not wasting my time. I'm working right now.
Stop lying. What do you mean by work? You're just playing games on your computer all day.
No, I'm not. It's true that I'm a nerd and I like playing games, but I don't spend the whole day playing games. I just work from home, as I've explained many times to you before.
Quit talking out of your butt. No one would be dumb enough to believe a lie that obvious.
But I'm telling the truth.
I have something to tell you. I need you to pack up your things and move out of the house.
What? What do you mean?
I've decided to go back to Mom and Dad's house, so I need you to move out and make room for me.
What? You're moving back? Are you visiting?
No. I got divorced, so I'm moving back in with my kids.
Divorce? Seriously?
Yeah, so I need you to move out. I and my child are going to live there, so...
Just wait a minute. Why do I have to move out? That's unfair.
I'm the firstborn, so I have the right to live there. On top of that, I don't have the responsibility to raise a hobo like you, and I don't want you influencing my kids. So I need you to move out and sustain yourself.
Your argument is making absolutely no sense. Ever since our parents died, I'm the one who's taking care of this house. You told me on the phone after Mom's funeral, you're the oldest boy, so you have to take care of the house now. And when Dad died, you split all of his property without any permission into his land and money. You took all of the money, didn't you? All I got was this land and this house. You just left after that. Isn't it unfair for you to just come back whenever you want to?
It is not. I'm the oldest, so whatever I say goes. Besides, rather than being kept by an unemployed, lazy person like you, I, the smart and responsible child taking good care, would make Mom happier too.
I can't believe you.
If you think you can just spend the rest of your life playing games, clinging on to what Dad left behind for you, you're dead wrong. I bet all the money he left for you is about to run out.
Why won't you listen to me? I'm telling you that I have a job. You took most of the money he left behind anyways.
Just stop lying. Just get over it and live on your own. This is for your own good. You'll never become a real man if you don't sustain yourself. Get out of the house, you hobo. And if you don't go out right now, I'm breaking all of your game consoles. And I'll throw all your stuff out the window.
Fine. It's surprising how a person who can't even have a proper discussion was able to get married. But I don't want you to come here and go crazy. And I definitely don't want you to break any of my stuff. So I'll leave. But I'm not going to help you with anything after I leave.
Why would I ever want a hobo's help? I don't care about you. Just get out of the house. I'll protect the house. Hey, pick up right now. How many times do you think I've called you? Don't ignore me.
Oh, sorry. I was too focused on my games. I didn't notice.
Quit lying. I've been calling for the past month. There's no way you've been playing games this whole time. Besides, where would a hobo like you play games? You really should stop lying.
Wow, you're as dumb as always. Do you really still believe that I'm unemployed? How are you so ignorant? How could I be calling you if I was homeless? I already bought a new apartment and moved in. I've been ignoring your calls on purpose, by the way.
You're such a liar. You never have the money to get your own place. I bet you're staying at a motel, you worthless piece of crap.
Whatever. I don't need you to understand. Not that I expect you to, given that I've been telling you so many times. Think whatever you want. Now, what do you want? I wouldn't expect you to call me to check on how well off I am.
That's right. I texted you earlier, but it's about the bills. I haven't been able to use electricity for a while now, and the water stopped too.
Oh yeah, I heard your voice message about that. You were saying the electricity and gas stopped, and now the water stopped? Wow, I mean, good luck.
Stop laughing! Why did it all stop? What happened?
Isn't it obvious? Maybe it's because you haven't been paying the bills.
What? Aren't they being paid?
Why would I be paying? I haven't paid it since I moved out.
Not you! The bills! Aren't they being deposited from Dad's inheritance?
I really don't understand what you're saying. What's Dad's inheritance? There is no inheritance anymore.
What? What do you mean? What did you do?
I don't have any of the money that he left behind anymore. Mom and Dad both entered a nursing home before they died, so I paid for their bills to go there and the fees for the funeral. It wasn't much to begin with, since you took most of it in the first place.
How have you been staying alive then? You're a hobo without any spare money either.
Is it not obvious that I've been paying my own bills with my own money? For the 1000th time, I work from home. Besides, even if I were to still have some money from Dad left, why would you get to use it? I mean, it's odd that you have the house right now anyways.
You little... I thought I could live here for free. Fine, I'll pay you the utility bills. Make sure to do the paperwork to change the billing address to mine. Right now.
What? Why me? I'm too lazy for that.
Ugh, quit complaining and do it. Make sure I can use the tap and electricity right now.
I don't think there's any point in doing that, though. That house isn't owned by me anymore.
What?
When I left the house, I put the house and land up for sale. You won't be able to stay there for long.
What? You put it up for sale?
I heard it was already bought. You should really look for a new home.
What on earth were you thinking? Why would you sell Dad's property just by yourself like that? I won't allow that.
I don't need your permission. The rights to the house were left behind for me. It's all mine, so I can do whatever I want. You were just born and raised there. You have no rights to it.
But you can't just tell me to move out of my house like that. I was just starting to settle in.
Do you not remember what you did to me? You told me to leave, but you don't want me to tell you to leave. How odd. You're making me crack up, sis. Besides, how are you settling in? It's a house without any gas or water.
We have different circumstances. I'm raising children on my own. I'm barely getting by. Are you just going to throw me and my kids onto the streets? You're heartless.
Which one of us is heartless? When Mom and Dad got sick and needed your help, I called you so many times, but all you said was, "I'm busy right now." You didn't come even once to visit or help. You didn't even show up to the funeral. And you just show up after they're dead to take all of the money. And now you're here to take the house because you're the oldest sibling, and you just threw me onto the streets. Tell me, which one of us is heartless?
Shut up. Don't talk back to me. You're my younger brother. You listen to what your older sister says.
What kind of adult uses that as an excuse to do whatever they want? I'm embarrassed to even be related to you.
Just be quiet. Take down the offer for the house, or buy it back and give the rights to me.
No way! What good does that do for me? Why do I have to do that for the lady who kicked me out of it in the first place? It's already been bought, so no can do.
Then give me the room you're living in right now. I and my kids are gonna live there. You have money. Just get a new apartment.
How much of a bully are you? Wow, my big sister's being mean to me. You kicked me out of the house I was taking care of, and now you want to take over the new apartment I just bought? Who's the homeless one now? I'm so scared of you.
Quit fooling around. I'm serious.
You're serious? I thought you were joking. You're trying to take my house like a kid would take her brother's toy. You really are crazy.
I don't care which, but either give me your room or buy back the house. I have children with me. Do you not care what happens to them?
Quit using your kids to your advantage. I actually feel horrible for them. You know, my nieces don't have anything to do with this, so I already made a call about this.
A call? What on earth did you do?
I called your husband. He's already on his way.
What? What the hell? You can't just do that!
I heard that you actually haven't gotten divorced yet. You just ran out of the house with the kids because he was planning to divorce you, right? And the reason is that you cheated on him, correct? You really are a piece of trash.
You have nothing to do with this. How could you contact him without my permission?
Because I care about the well-being of your kids. Plus, I need you to move out of that house. It's not ours anymore. Your husband told me that he's been desperately looking for you and your kids. And he knew that you and I didn't get along, so he assumed that you didn't come over to my house. He said he never would have expected you to kick me out so you could live there. Talk about coincidence, am I right?
I can't believe you! He'll divorce me if he finds me! He's planning on suing me and taking the kids with him too!
Of course he is. He has the right to do all of that.
Please, let me hide! Let me hide at your place. I mean us!
No way! I decided not to ever let you enter my house again. I can't afford to have you take over again.
Okay, I won't. I'll apologize for everything I did. Just please help me this once.
No way! I'm not getting involved in this. See ya!
Hey, wait! Steve!
After that, my sister tried to run away with her kids, but she was caught by her husband and his parents, and they all went back to the married couple's house. They got a lawyer and soon divorced. It turned out that my sister was really cheating, so she ended up paying $20,000 for compensation. The rights to her kids were taken as well, and she was kicked out with nothing left. I heard she went to the guy she cheated with after that, but she asked him to pay part of the fees, and they got into a big fight. She was kicked out of that house too, and no one knows where she is now. It's a fitting ending for my sister. She tried to take my house, but everything was taken from her. I'm personally happy with being able to sell the house. It was hard to let go of because of all the memories I had with my parents, but it was way too big to live alone in. And I'm fine as long as the new owners treat it well. I used the money from that to renew my parents' graves, so I'm sure they're happy with the decision too.
Hannah? Lucy's in front of my house. What happened?
Oh, sorry, Claire. I forgot to tell you. Thanks for noticing, though.
So what on earth is going on? What's Lucy doing outside my house at this time? And how long has she been out there? She's shivering.
We left the house at 5:30 this morning, so I must have left her there at about 6.
What? So she's been outside my house for over an hour? It might be summer, but the mornings are still cold, you know. Leaving a 4-year-old outside like that. Have you lost your mind? And not just the cold, what if she got abducted?
Well, nothing happened, did it? What's the problem? Don't get mad over something so trivial. Sorry it's so sudden, but I want you to look after Lucy for me. For about 3 days starting today.
What? 3 days starting today? You can't just spring this on me out of nowhere.
Whoopsies, already left her. Plus, my husband's away on business. I'm going on vacation now. You're the only one I can count on, Claire. Surely you'll help me as a favor between neighbors, please?
No, why can't you just leave her with your parents? Your husband's parents only live 30 minutes away by car. That's what you said before, right?
I can't do that, because I'm going vacation with my darling.
Huh? What does that mean? Isn't your husband away on business? If you're going as a couple, you could take Lucy with you.
I can't do that. Darling's not my husband. He's my boyfriend.
Huh? Your boyfriend? So basically that means you're having an affair?
That's why I can't tell my husband or his parents. You too, Claire. Don't tell anyone, okay?
But that's wrong. And to think you dump your daughter on someone else to go on vacation? You can't do things like this, Hannah.
Oh, don't be so stubborn. Besides, my husband's always going to strip clubs and hang out with younger women. I have to blow off some steam myself and sometimes too, you know? I basically got my husband's approval, so chill, it's fine.
Somehow, I don't believe that. I won't say anything about your marriage this time. But please, don't get me wrapped up in your mess ever again. I feel like I'm aiding and abetting a crime and I'm not comfortable with it.
Wow, you're so cold. Friends have to watch each other's backs, you know? Anyways, I already got on the bullet train, so I can't come home now. Take good care of Lucy for me.
No, not take good care of Lucy for me. And hey, if you want me to look after her for 3 days, why doesn't she have anything with her? Wear her clean clothes, money for food. And what do you plan on doing about the nursery?
Whoops, I forgot to give her clean clothes. Whatever, it's fine. Just let her wear your kids' clothes, okay? As for the nursery, just take her along with your kid. Food expenses for a 4-year-old are no big deal. Include them as a service for me this time, okay? I'll buy you a souvenir.
My kid's clothes? My kid is 2 years old. They won't fit her. And are you saying you'll be paying for food expenses?
What a tightwad. If your kid's clothes don't fit her, just have her wear adult ones for now.
And that's not even half of it. What about allergies? Does she have any? What about our medicine book, her health insurance card? What am I supposed to do if something happens to her?
Oh, come on. It's just 3 days. She'll be fine. You worry too much.
That's not the point. Anyway, I can't look after her. If you don't come back and collect her, I'll take her to your husband's parents' place. Tell me their phone number.
What? But if I told you, they'd find out about my affair. I don't want to get divorced, so no, I won't be telling you.
Be serious. Ugh, you put me in such a difficult spot.
That may be so, but I can't come back now, so no can do. Just give up and look after her, okay?
No, you really need to start taking this seriously. At least give me some emergency contact details, even if it's just your own parents' number.
Whoopsie, looks like my phone's battery's about to die. Sorry, gotta go. Take good care of Lucy for me. Toodles.
Wait, Hannah? I can't do this.
Hey, Claire. Sorry I kept you waiting. I can come home soon. I got you lots of souvenirs.
Hannah, what have you been doing this whole time? I was ringing you constantly, but you didn't pick up once.
Sorry. The notifications were annoying, so I temporarily blocked you.
You blocked me. Weren't you worried about Lucy? What if she'd been in danger? You force your child on someone else, then ignore them when they try to contact you. Because you're so absorbed in your sordid little lover's vacation. Have you no shame? You're absolutely despicable.
God, you're such a drama queen. Nothing happened in the end, did it? I'm on my way to pick her up now, so just take a chill pill, okay? Thanks for watching her for me these 3 days. Thanks to you, we had an amazing time vacation. I'm heading back on the bullet train now, so wait with my daughter.
Your husband came and took her ages ago. Apparently they moved house.
Huh?
I got in touch with your husband and his parents the day you dumped her on me. He came back from his business trip to collect her. She's at his parents' place now. Your husband said he's moving out of the house and going to live with his parents. They were all pretty angry.
What? Why? How did you contact my husband? I didn't give you his number, did it? Did I?
I asked everyone in the neighborhood, including your other mom friends. Eventually, when I explained the situation to the nursery teacher, he gave me your husband's number.
What have you done? I told you not to tell my husband or his parents. Who do you think you are to contact them like this?
And I told you, didn't I? That without change of her clothes, her insurance card, her medicine book, or not knowing whether she had any allergies, I couldn't look after your daughter for 3 days. I told you it was inconvenient, didn't I?
And I told you it was fine. God, you're such a nervous wreck. I told you 3 days was no big deal.
You didn't know what might happen, did you? Who did you expect to take responsibility if something awful happened? I wasn't prepared to take that on if you wouldn't even cover food expenses. Shouldn't her being with her own father and grandparents give you more peace of mind?
It does, but I told you I couldn't do that this time. If my husband knew I was on vacation with my boyfriend, he would divorce me.
Oh yeah, I told your husband about your lover's vacation.
What?
While I was explaining to him why I had Lucy, I thought it'd be easier just to show him our messages on here. You know how I told you he was moving in with his parents? It's so he can prepare for the divorce.
No! Why did you tell him?
Ugh, I mean, who does this? I only told him because he asked me. Why did you think I wouldn't tell him in the first place? You're disgusting.
You put on a timid act and tricked me. I can't believe you'd be so cowardly.
Which part is cowardly? I was obviously going to contact your guardian. Actually, I think it's far more cowardly and disgusting to force me to watch your daughter because you look down on me and think I'm timid. While you go on a sordid vacation with your lover.
Just shut up. If he divorces me, I'm taking you to court. I'm gonna tell all her friends that you did and have you ostracized. I'll see to it no one ever speaks to you again.
I don't think you're gonna be able to do that, Hannah. They're all on my side after all.
What?
I did just tell you, but I got your husband's number by asking around the neighborhood, including your mom friends. I told them everything and asked for their help, so everyone knows all about your affair.
What? You went blabbing to everyone in the neighborhood too? You're scum! Quit joking around! Go and undo it immediately!
Even if you bark orders at me, I've already told them, so that's impossible. I mean, it is true. Kinda looks like you might get ostracized, huh?
No, you can't do this! I'm a stay-at-home housewife. If he divorces me, I won't be able to live. I can't find work after all this time. And my friends abandon me too. Oh my god, Please, can you make my husband and friends come round somehow? Tell them it was a joke or that you got it all wrong.
I don't want to bug them any more than I already have, so no can do. This isn't my problem anymore.
You have to help me, please. I'll do anything.
No can do. How about giving up and preparing yourself for what's coming instead? Oh no! Whoopsies, looks like my phone's battery's about to die. Sorry, toodles.
No, please! Wait, Claire!
After that, Hannah and her lover were caught by her husband, who was waiting for them at the station. They got a divorce and she had to pay a huge amount of settlement money. Of course, her husband won custody rights over Lucy, and she was raised with love and care at his parents' house. Hannah, no longer having anywhere to live, went to stay at her lover's apartment, but they started getting into fights over the settlement money she was forced to pay. They broke up and she was homeless once more. She was ostracized by all of her old friends, who were now ignoring her. Eventually, she came over and started throwing garbage at my house out of resentment for me. But just as she did that, a patrolling police officer happened to walk by. She was caught red-handed and taken away in handcuffs. Can you imagine? She resented me so much to the point of harassment after treating me like a daycare center to enable her affair. I don't understand how her mind works at all.
Hey, sis. It's Mako. Long time no see. Huh? Mako? How did you get my number? I blocked you and even got a new phone. So a little birdie told me something. Hey, wait. Isn't getting a new phone without telling me a little mean? Even though I'm your one and only adorable little sister? Huh? Adorable? I haven't thought of you as adorable even once. I don't even think of you as my sister anymore.
What? Why? You're horrible.
How is that horrible? Have you forgotten what you did? You stole my fiancé 4 years ago.
Wow, are you still holding a grudge over that? That's like ancient history. And I told you I was sorry. Can't we put the past behind us?
Don't be ridiculous. Like hell I'm gonna forgive you. You stole my fiancé right before our wedding. Do you know how difficult my life became because of you? You caused his parents all sorts of trouble because he broke off the engagement. And since we worked at the same company, everyone was constantly gossiping about us. It became so hard to be there, I ended up changing jobs. I went through so much.
Wow, really? I had no idea.
Seriously, stop screwing me around. I blocked you because I didn't want to see your face anymore. Then moved house and cut all ties. That's how much I hate you.
You still haven't forgiven me, even though I apologized? You're so petty. Anyway, Kenichi's the one who came on to me. Isn't it unreasonable to only be angry with me?
But you were inviting him out all the time before that. You were all over him, even though you knew he was my fiancé.
Whatever, it's in the past now. More importantly, I have some news for you.
More importantly? Ugh, you're vile. What news?
I'm getting married! We got engaged just the other week.
Cool, that's nice.
Excuse me, what kind of reaction is that? You could seem a little more pleased for me.
What? Why would I be pleased? I already cut you out of my life. Whether you get married or you get pregnant, I don't care.
You're so cold. I know you're too old to find a husband for yourself now, so I was going to invite you to my wedding. To think I worked so hard to find your contact details.
You didn't have to do that. Leave me alone. So you're marrying Kenichi? Great. I hope you're happy together.
Huh? I'm not marrying Kenichi, LOL. Me and him broke up ages ago. Stealing him from you was fun enough, but he was broke after paying you compensation for breaking off the engagement. Plus, he was such a bore. I dumped him straight away, LOL. I'm marrying someone else.
Oh, cool. You're free to do as you please.
I'm gonna send you a wedding invite. What's your address?
What? No way am I telling you. Don't you know what cutting you out of my life means? I never want to see you again. Do you understand?
How could you say such a thing? Oh, I know how. Because you're jealous of me.
What?
You're jealous that your little sister's getting married before you, right? My poor sister. Failed to get married because her fiancé abandoned her. You and Kenichi would have been married by now, wouldn't you? LOL. Oopsie, sorry.
Cringe. I'm hardly jealous. I wouldn't want to be the kind of scumbag who'd cheat on me with my sister anyway.
You're just coping, you salty loser. Anyways, get excited about my wedding. I'll introduce you to some hot guys if you want. LOL.
I'll pass. I won't be going.
Oh, don't be like that. Just come. I've got a big surprise for you. You're gonna be amazed, LOL. You better be there. Ugh, sis! Why didn't you reply to my wedding invite? Mom and Dad are ignoring me too. Why?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Didn't Mom and Dad disown you over what happened with Kenichi? My invite turned up in the mail at work for some reason. I put it straight through the shredder without even opening it.
What? Why would you? I worked so hard writing that.
You're so irritating. Will you give it a rest already? Never contact me again.
LOL, that's fine. Because I'm pretty sure you're gonna be the one contacting me pretty soon.
What? Why would I contact you?
About the surprise I mentioned before. Okay, fine. I'll spill the beans.
Can you guess what it is if I say the name Takaki Ota? Huh? How do you know his name? Takaki's your current fiancé, isn't he? Sorry, sis. Looks like I stole your fiancé again. Huh? What are you talking about? Wow, you still don't get it? You got abandoned by your fiancé again! Has Takaki messaged you lately? No, I didn't. And no, he hasn't. Wait, did you? Who do you think I'm with right now? Your fiancé! You're such a moron for taking this long to figure it out. No, my wedding's today. Huh? What are you talking about, LOL? My wedding is today. My fiancé, no, my husband, who stood right next to me. They're just making the closing preparations for the ceremony and getting the banquet ready. What? Your wedding's today? No, that's impossible. I'm with Takaki now. He's marrying me. I'm not sure what exactly you think is going on here, but Takaki Ota isn't my fiancé. What? My husband's name is Shohei Sakuma. He works at the same company as me. No, you're lying. Just because you're upset about me stealing your fiancé again doesn't mean you can start telling lies. It's true. That guy isn't my fiancé. But Takaki said you and him are engaged. It was him who gave me your contact details. He knows lots about your personal info. Wouldn't it just be weird if he wasn't your boyfriend? Takaki Ota is my stalker. What? Your stalker? We met 3 years ago at a work drinking party my coworker invited me to. We happened to swap numbers there. Ever since then, he's been pestering me relentlessly. He went around telling people I was his girlfriend, and even though I wasn't, and constantly invited me out on dates. He even showed up at my house. He caused me so much trouble, I couldn't even block him completely because he was one of our clients at work. Huh? What? Wait, what? It was my current fiancé who finally got him to leave me alone. I can't believe he's still telling people we're engaged. No, just wait a second. What's going on here? Basically, you've been deceived by my stalker claiming to be my fiancé. Me and Takaki have nothing to do with each other. He's nothing but a stalker, who you seem to have mistaken for someone else. Which means you haven't stolen my fiancé. What? That kind of thing actually happens? But I don't gain anything from this. This can't be happening. Yeah, I was so looking forward to seeing the look on your ugly, heartbroken face again. Boring! Is that seriously the reason you went after my fiancé? Yep. I just wanted to see the look on your face one more time, since it was so funny the last time I stole Kenichi from you. You really are despicable. I feel embarrassed just knowing we're related. Well, whatever. The company Takaki works at is much better than yours. And he seems like he has money, so I think I'll marry him anyway. Huh? What are you talking about? He's unemployed. Huh? Isn't he one of your company's clients? No. He's a delusional liar. His stalking escalated, and he showed up at our office one day. He went on a rampage at reception and broke quite a lot of equipment. He got arrested for criminal damage and lost his job. This was all pretty recent, which should mean he's unemployed now? What? No way! Or at least, I haven't heard anything about him finding another job. Most likely he just lied to seduce you. Oh, and he's on probation. Whichever way you look at it, he's a dangerous guy. Huh? But what am I supposed to do now? We already got engaged. I already sent out the wedding invites. I can't pull out now. Whoops, you really outdid yourself this time. You got married to a stalker neat on probation, LOL. He's super clingy, so good luck getting rid of him. No! I can't marry someone like him! Why didn't you tell me before? How was I meant to do that? I had no idea you were even getting married till before today. Anyway, you're not my problem anymore. No, wait, help me! Are you just gonna abandon me? I'm your little sister and I'm in trouble. Help me! Nope, I don't have a sister. I don't even have any acquaintances as trashy as you, so I don't know you. But look on the bright side. At least he'll never cheat on you. You'll get his full devotion. He is a stalker after all, LOL. A scumbag, just like you. You're the perfect couple.
Don't say that! Please, I'm begging you. I'm so sorry for everything. Please!
It's your own fault. Deal with it yourself. Anyway, I have a wedding to attend to. See ya! I hope you're happy together. I blocked Mako and got married with an intense feeling of satisfaction. Me, my husband, my parents, and my friends all celebrated together, and it was the best day of my life. My husband Shohei's super kind, and he's always there for me. I'm so happy right now. I heard that Mako confronted Takaki Ota. And on top of being unemployed, she found out he was also in mountains of debt, and he'd taken it upon himself to write her name down as the co-signer. They're currently in the middle of a messy divorce. I lost count of how many times she called me and my parents begging for help, but we all ignored her completely. We had already cut her out of our lives after all. To think she was so obsessed with hurting me that she went as far as marrying a guy that dangerous. What a grade A moron.
Tina, what are you doing right now? Why are you out in the middle of the day?
I'm at work as usual. Because it's a weekday.
Good grief, you're still working? I've been telling you since forever to just hurry up and quit. A woman is supposed to stay at home after she gets married. Making money is the man's job. That's what I was doing when I was your age. My dear grandson Noah's still so small. It's not fair on him.
Times have changed since then, you know. The cost of living is higher now, so it's difficult to get by on a husband's salary alone. And Noah's in elementary school now, so I don't have to see him 24/7.
Do not talk back to your mother-in-law. There's no way my Jack's salary isn't enough on its own. Are you sure it's not just you being bad with money? You must be neglecting the finances because you're working too much. This is all the more reason for you to stop working.
Even if you say that,
you should quit your job and start devoting a little more time to learn how to cook. I tried the stew in the kitchen, but it tasted awful.
Huh? Wait, did you come to our house again?
Yes, I had errands to run, so I stopped by on the way. But no one was in, so I messaged you.
Just hold on. Did you get another spare key made without telling us? I told you to stop doing that. Do not enter our house when we're not there.
Why not? It's my son's house. Besides, I have to conduct surprise checks every now and then to make sure you're not slacking on the housework. And just as I suspected, whatever was in the pot was absolutely disgusting. Inside the fridge was a disorganized mess too.
Don't eat our food without permission. That's our supper.
I can't let my Jack or little Noah eat anything that disgusting. I threw it in the trash, so make it again.
What? You throw it away?
You'll get ill if you eat things like that. The flavor was too strong. It had a weird acidic taste. And it smelled weird. So I threw it all in the trash.
What? Are you joking? You threw the chicken stew I've been preparing since this morning into the bin? That's Jack and Noah's favorite dish.
Don't tell lies. There's no way Jack would like something that disgusting.
My tenderly cooked chicken. What are you doing there? Did you just go there to throw away our food?
Oh yes, I forgot. I'll be having a tea party with some friends this Sunday. I'd like you to bake us some confectionery for the occasion. Your cooking might be utterly hopeless, but you can at least do baking, can't you? Cakes, cookies, anything will do. I want you to prepare us something as spectacular as possible. There will be 6 of us attending, so be sure to make lots.
What? You want me to bake you something? No, I can't. I have plans this weekend. I told you before, didn't I?
Surely you don't have plans first thing in the morning. If you get up early, you'll have it done in a jiffy. Please start thinking for yourself for a change. Cakes and cookies can't be made in a jiffy, can they? They take time. Anyway, I'm busy on the weekend. Can't you just buy them at the store? But I already told my friends there's going to be a wonderful handmade confectionery. I can't give them from a shelf now. Anyway, I'm counting on you. Toodles! Not Toodles. I can't and I won't. Remember the last time you forced me to make something? You didn't even pay for the ingredients. I don't have as much free time as you think. Listen to me. I will not be making you anything. Hey, Jack. Your mom decided to let herself into our house again. She threw the chicken stew I made in the trash.
What? Seriously? Damn it, that's my favorite dish!
Didn't you take the spare key off her? You said you were going to talk to her about this.
Well, I know, but she insisted it'd be more convenient if she had a key in case anything happened. Then she started crying and said, "Don't be so cruel to your old mother." I felt bad. I didn't have the nerve to take it off her by force.
Don't let her play you like that. Do you have any idea how many times she's thrown my dishes in the trash? It's such a waste, and the food expenses are going through the roof. If she doesn't cut this out, we're going to be in serious trouble.
Come on, can't you see that she's lonely? My dad's out at work all day. You and I might not be that far away, but we do live separately. Surely it's fine if she comes over to keep herself busy now and then.
Is it fine for her to illegally enter our home because she's lonely? Is it fine for her to help herself to the food I slave over a hot stove to cook, complain that it's disgusting, and throw it away? Is it fine for her to order me to bake cakes for her at tea parties without giving me a single penny for the ingredients? I'm sick of you being manipulated by your selfish mother, using loneliness as your get-out-of-jail-free card.
Fine, I get it. I'll make her see sense somehow.
I'm not interested in half-hearted vagaries like make her see sense. Go to her house today on the way home from work and get the spare key off of her for real this time. If she dares shows up here next Sunday, I'm seriously gonna lose it. Do you understand?
I get it. I'll get a hold of it somehow.
I'm very disappointed in you, Tina. I requested that you make some confectionery, but no matter how long I waited, nothing came. So I took it upon myself to go and collect it. No one was home, so I let myself in. What on earth was all that? There was a feast laid out on the table. You even prepared cake, despite not making what I asked you to. To think you live in such luxury when my Tom is out working. I won't allow it. On top of that, I tried a bit of everything, but it tasted awful, so I threw all of the food on the table in the trash. I took the cake for myself, though. Do you know what day it is today? Huh? I'm asking if you know what day it is today. Did you know when you did it? What do you mean? I don't follow. It's Noah's birthday today. What? The feast laid out on the table as well as the cake were all for Noah. I told you I had plans, didn't I? Those plans were to invite Noah's friends over to celebrate his birthday. The reason I'm not home right now is because I went to meet his friends at the train station. I can't believe you managed to throw all the food in the trash and steal his cake in such a short space of time. No matter how much you might not like me, to ruin Noah's birthday like this is just cruel. You're the worst mother-in-law on the planet. It's Noah's birthday today? What? You don't remember your own grandson's birthday? You're not old enough to be going senile. No, I knew it was sometime this month, but I didn't think it was today. If that was the case, why didn't you tell me beforehand? You're the one who cut the conversation off before I had the chance to tell you. Didn't Jack explain this to you? He was supposed to be going to your house. I haven't heard of such a thing. And why on earth didn't you invite us to Noah's birthday party in the first place? I did plan on inviting you, but you told me you were hosting a tea party. So I thought you could stop by another time and didn't say anything. Plus, your husband's at work. More importantly, how do you plan on making up for this? I had to cancel Noah's birthday party because of you, and after his friends went through the trouble of coming. What? Why did you have to cancel it? You could have ordered takeout for the food and grabbed a cake from the store. There are many alternatives. At least no one would have to eat your terrible cooking that way. What are you talking about? Noah can't eat regular food or cakes. You know that, right? Huh? Why? What? Are you seriously telling me you don't even remember Noah has allergies? Allergies? Noah? Since when? Since he was born. I told you as soon as I found out he had them. And since he can't eat milk, eggs, or shrimp, I made today's cake especially made to be allergen-free. The food too. And since some of Noah's friends are gluten intolerant, I went to a lot of effort to make sure everyone would have something to eat. It's going to take a long time to remake everything from scratch. Noah was so looking forward to finally being able to eat the same things as his friends. I didn't know that! You never tell me anything! I think what you mean is that you don't listen. You do nothing but talk about yourself. You don't even care about things that could put your grandson's life in danger. I can't let someone that dangerous near my son, so you better not come to our house until his allergies have gotten better. I'll be changing the locks. What? Why? I don't want someone who doesn't understand Noah's allergies coming and going as they please. For now, all you've done is throw our meals away. But who knows whether you might decide to cook him something yourself one day that contains stuff he's allergic to. Anyway, Noah's upset that you ruined his birthday. He burst into tears and shouted, "I don't want to see Grandma!" Well, I didn't know about his birthday or the allergies. Surely it can't be helped. I'm Jack's mother and Noah's grandmother. Surely my son's house is the same as my house? I can't accept you banning me from entering. Give it a rest. You trampled all over what was supposed to be a fun day for the kids. All for your own satisfaction. I've tolerated you throwing away my food until now, but you're not getting away with what you did this time. If you illegally enter our home one more time, we're moving house and cutting all contact with you. Depending on the circumstances, even divorce with Jack isn't off the table. I'll take Noah and move in with my parents. What? Divorce? Divorce? You can't do that! I'm serious. It all depends on your attitude from here on out. I'm sorry. I apologize. Please forgive me. Please make Noah understand that I didn't mean to. I will not do such a thing. If you want to make this up to Noah, how about thinking for yourself for a change? As for me forgiving you, I'll make that decision depending on whether I see change in your behavior. I have to go see Noah now, so excuse me. Toodles, mother-in-law. My mother-in-law immediately rushed over to apologize with cake and hors d'oeuvres in hand, but as usual, everything contained allergens. So we refused the food and took possession of her spare key. She stayed outside the front door shouting, causing a racket for a little while. But Noah, who was already in a bad mood from having his birthday ruined, took one look at her and shouted, "I hate Grandma!" and threw a screaming fit. She must have tattled on me to Jack straight away, because when he got home, he started complaining at me, saying, "Don't make my mom cry." But I swiftly lectured on him on how it was entirely his fault for not taking the key off her in the first place. And when I said, "Should I take Noah and break off all contact with you?" he started panicking, got on his knees, and apologized. Jack's completely on my side now, and his mother, afraid of being cut out of our lives, stopped coming to our house out of the blue. Now, with an appropriate degree of space between us and the in-laws, our lives are comfortable and stress-free. The birthday party was successfully held the following Sunday. Everyone came over to join the celebrations, and Noah was finally able to eat the same cake as his friends for the first time. I'm so relieved that his birthday party didn't end up being a sad memory.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Sophia. How's my big sis doing? It's been ages.
Wow, is that Emma? No kidding. I feel like I've seen a ghost. It's not like you messaged me. Is everything okay?
I just saw your husband, Dan.
Really? Where?
We bumped into each other at the station while I was out shopping.
The train station? Oh, that's strange. He said he was going out in the car today. He was at the train station?
Yep, he gave me a lift home. Isn't he just a darling? Will you tell him I said thanks?
Really? Okay. Got it. He's still out right now, but I'll let him know when he gets home.
We need to talk, sis. You didn't tell me your husband was loaded. My jaw almost hit the floor when I saw his luxury sports car. How much must that thing have cost him? I felt like an A-lister. I had no idea your husband was such a high roller.
I'd hardly call him a high roller.
Oh, come on, Sophia. You're just being modest. Even I know how expensive that car is, and I don't know jack about cars. I looked it up online, and apparently it's even popular with world leaders and celebrities. Not only that, but all his clothes and accessories were branded. He looked more like he was on his way to a modeling shoot than out running errands. He even wore a P-Pex watch. I had to stop myself drooling all over his upholstery.
He must be peacocking today. You just happened to run into him dressed like that is all. He doesn't always wear that stuff.
Even still, most people wouldn't be able to afford a single one of those things. And yet there he was, kitted out in a tailored suit and pranced from head to toe. I had no idea he was so rich.
He's really not.
You can drop the act now. I know he's a top exec at a major global company.
Huh? He told you that?
Why didn't you tell me? I knew he worked for a major company. But you never told me he was a top exec or this freaking loaded.
It didn't really seem appropriate to go discussing my husband's salary with you. You might be my sister, but that's private information. Besides, it would have probably sounded like I was bragging.
You're right, 'cause he's loaded. But I feel like I see you in a different light now. You backed yourself a keeper there, sis. How the hell did you do it?
It's not like I'm with him for his money or anything. Besides, he's the one who came onto me. I didn't really do anything. Saying I bagged him is putting it a bit strongly.
Wow, really? I wonder what he sees in you.
Who knows? He said it was love at first sight, so I guess he thinks I'm pretty?
No way. You have got to be kidding me. You? Pretty? Now I've heard it all. I was always a better looking sister.
Oh, look. It's barely been a few minutes and you already reminded me of why we never speak. I see you're just as shallow, materialistic, and unpleasant as you ever were, Emma.
Okay, fine. I deserve that. Let me rephrase. It's not that you're not pretty, but you are unfriendly. You give off those scary don't approach me vibes. Guys probably find you hard to engage with because you seem so cold and hostile.
Thanks for your opinion, Emma, but I never asked for it. Besides, there are all sorts of guys out there. And I can assure you, there are plenty out there who don't find me hard to approach at all. There were tons of guys who prefer girls like me. You seem to think you're God's gift to men. But I promise you, your whole ditzy airhead thing doesn't float everyone's boat. There are just as many guys who'd sooner have nothing to do with you.
You sure? I know, sis. I think a guy would have to be blind not to want me. Men are simple creatures, and I know just how to push their buttons.
You really are mind-blowingly confident, huh? Where do these ungodly levels of inexplicable self-assuredness even come from?
That's easy. I know I'm hot stuff, because I'm a hit with the guys, and I always have been. If you spent your entire life getting hit on by guys and being told you're gorgeous, cute, pretty, and amazing every 5 minutes, you'd be confident too.
Whatever.
Anyway, forget all that. The reason I messaged you today is because I want you to introduce me to some of your husband's pals. Ideally, they should be as rich as him, or richer. He must rub shoulders with the upper crust if he can afford to drive a car like that.
I'm not sure if there's anyone I can introduce you to. Dan doesn't have that many friends. He's a private guy and keeps to himself.
Like a lone wolf? God, that's such a turn on.
I wouldn't call him a lone wolf. He's just shy and introverted. The few friends he does have are already married, or already have girlfriends. I honestly can't think of a single person I could introduce you to.
Surely he must have at least one friend who'd be open to an affair. Or someone whose relationship's on the rocks and seems ready to break up at any minute? Ah, that'd be perfect! I could sweep in and make my move when they're vulnerable. Hey sis, mind if I come over to your house sometime soon? I want to ask Dan directly if he'll introduce me to some of his friends. There's a chance you don't know them at all, right? My Mr. Right could be out there waiting for me as we speak.
Sure, you're welcome to come over. I'll be in touch when my schedule's open.
Thanks, sis!
I gotta say, I'm really surprised. I never thought you'd be this interested in my husband. You didn't seem to care at all when we got married.
Why would I? Who you got married to had nothing to do with me. Especially since I was convinced you picked some run-of-the-mill cubicle slave.
Ugh, why must you be this way, Emma? You really haven't changed at all.
But I changed my mind! I'm gonna make more of an effort to get along with your hubby from now on. I'm counting on you for the introduction. Rack your brains, cause I want the highest spec guy you can find. Sophia? Hello? You said you were gonna invite me over to speak to Dan? Well, I'm ready, now. What's taking so long? Hurry up and tell me when he'll be home.
Hold your horses, Emma. I can tell you're eager to see him, but I'm very busy. I can hardly just free up my schedule at the drop of a hat.
Can you do tomorrow? I've nothing but free time these days.
No, sorry. I won't be home, so tomorrow's no good.
Why won't you be home?
I'm going away on business.
Oh, you are? Does that mean you won't be coming back at all tomorrow?
Yep, I'm flying out to New York. I'll be gone for 3 nights and 4 days.
You'd get to go on business trips to New York? Jesus, where was my invite? I'm jealous. The weather's really nice up there at this time of year. I've always wanted to see the Empire State Building.
This is business, not pleasure. I'll have too much on my plate to go sightseeing. The schedule's about as tight as they come.
But you're still gonna fly out and stay in a hotel, right? Why do you get to enjoy that holiday feeling and I'm stuck here with nothing to do? It's not fair.
It might sound like fun on paper, but believe me, no one enjoys 12 hours of consecutive negotiations with a bunch of uptight, crusty old businessmen. Last time I did one of these, I was so fried I passed out on the hotel bed as soon as I got back.
Wait a sec. Does this mean Dan's gonna be on his own at your house while you're away? What will he do for food?
I'm not sure. But since he's hopelessly incapable of cooking for himself, he'll probably end up getting takeout.
Takeout every day for 4 days? Oh, that's sad. I feel bad for him.
He eats more takeout in a week than most people do in a year. He's used to it. You really don't need to worry. I enjoy takeout myself. I'd say we eat it more than most. It's cheap, tasty, and you get to save time on cooking and cleaning.
Don't you cook your own meals?
I'm so busy with work, it's hard. I have almost no time to dedicate to the house. I don't enjoy cooking that much either. Kind of feels like a chore. That's why we hire a maid to take care of that kind of thing.
You mean you don't do any housework at all?
I do sometimes. But in general, I can't get away from work for long enough to do anything. That's why we hired the maid.
Wow. I feel bad for Dan. Doesn't really seem like you love him. It's a wife's job to show her man she appreciates him by cooking and cleaning and taking care of the house. And yet, there you are, jetting off to New York like some big wig businessman.
I can assure you Dan's just fine with how things are. He understands my situation and is very accepting of it.
Don't you feel like you're letting him down as a wife? He might not say it because he's nice, but I bet deep down he wants you to act like a woman by cooking and cleaning for him.
I'm sure he doesn't. I told him countless times that if he ever gets bored of takeout, then he's welcome to learn how to cook. He just doesn't seem that interested. He's more couch potato than get up and go. Anyway, what even is this, Emma? We haven't spoken in years, and you don't even know him. Yet here you are, coming at me with all this crap all of a sudden. Give me a break, would ya? He seems happy enough with how things are, and even if he wasn't, it's none of your business. We didn't ask for advice, and we don't want it.
What's wrong, Sophia? Did I touch a nerve? Look, you're obviously only getting defensive because you know I'm right. Imagine your own wife telling you to cook for yourself. Maybe he's putting on a brave face to avoid the rocking boat. But I bet deep down he's going through a world of hurt.
You really think so? Forget I asked you that. I'm not dignifying this crap. I don't have time to do stuff around the house, and it's as simple as that. I couldn't change it even if I wanted to.
Sophia, listen. I'm only telling you this because you're my sister and I love you. But you're not fulfilling your duties as a woman. Your marriage may as well have 2 men in it. I get that being a strong, independent woman is trendy in this day and age, but we haven't changed since caveman times. Most guys are simple. All they want is a feminine woman who cooks, cleans, and takes care of them.
We're not doing this anymore, Emma. You manage your affairs, I'll manage mine. My husband doesn't want me to be his personal maidservant. We're fine as we are.
Why do you even work so much in the first place? I bet you can afford to be a stay-at-home housewife, but for some reason you seem dead set on jetting it up around the world playing hotshot businesswoman.
I don't want to be a stay-at-home housewife. I like my job.
Ugh, your husband must be earning at least 6 figures. You know you could afford to quit to take care of him in the house. How much money can you even be earning as a woman anyway? There's a reason there's a pay gap, sis. Men are just better suited to work. What's the point in you having a job? You could probably quit today and still live comfortably for the rest of your life because of how rich Dan is.
Wow. You stupefy me. My work gives me purpose in life. It makes me happy, fulfilled, and like I'm contributing to the world. Is that okay with you? Why should I have to throw all that away to be Dan's babysitter?
Gross. Women shouldn't find their purpose in life through work. Everyone knows the only way for a woman to find true happiness is to marry a rich guy, become a stay-at-home housewife, and give him lots of babies.
I'm sorry to see you haven't evolved at all since the Stone Age, Emma. I think we'll have to agree to disagree on this one. I enjoy being independent.
You know, it's sad how deluded you are. You probably think your company needs you. But something tells me they wouldn't even notice if you randomly stopped showing up one day. Everyone knows female employees are useless. The only reason there are so many of you these days is because all of these dumb feminist quotas. If you had to get by on merit like the guys do, you probably wouldn't have a job.
I really couldn't disagree more. But the real question here is, do I really want to get dragged into this kind of discussion? A great man once said, the amount of energy needed to refute bullshit is an order of magnitude bigger than that needed to produce it. And I'm inclined to agree.
It's cool, sis. You can bury your head in the sand if you like. But I'ma carry on educating you all the same, because I'm nice like that. Think about it. Any employer who takes on a woman, now there's a good chance she'll go on maternity leave at some point. That's why you're less valuable from the get-go.
I won't deny it. There probably are some companies who think like that. But the world is moving forward and things are changing. My company couldn't be more different.
So, let me get this straight. You think you're so special that the laws of nature and common sense don't apply to you? Ugh, this hurts to read. I feel so bad for your husband for being married to someone so selfish.
How am I selfish? Why should I have to quit a job that I love to be my husband's slave? That sounds way more selfish to me.
If you ask me, a woman's place is in the home, and her role is to support her man. That's what I'm gonna do when I find myself a decent husband.
That's great, Emma. Good for you. I hope you find happiness with a guy who sees the world in the same way you do. Then you can fulfill your dream of being a barefoot baby factory. Maybe if you're lucky, your husband will even buy you a nice big kitchen to live in. Me and you are not the same.
Are you making fun of me? You're right, we're not the same. You think you're so amazing because you get to jet around the world on fancy business trips and pretend you're a dude. You think you're better than me because I can't work, don't you?
I don't think that at all. Give it a rest already. You're paranoid.
You know what? I don't care. You can look down your nose at me all you like. I'll have the last laugh. I'll grow old surrounded by kids with my rich husband in my mansion. But you'll be alone, miserable, and childless because you spent your best years acting like a feminist superhero. You're gonna be a cat lady if you don't change your ways soon.
Why so serious? Where is this crap even coming from? The last laugh? This isn't a competition, Emma. Good God, I don't even know what to say to you anymore.
Sophia, how's work?
It's going great. I'll make it back from my business trip on schedule at this rate.
So you're gonna be home tomorrow?
Yep. As long as nothing unexpected happens.
I see. That's a shame. Don't bother coming back.
Huh? Why would you say that?
'Cause you don't have a home to come back to. Me and Dan decided I'm gonna move in with him. You're not welcome in this house anymore.
What the hell are you talking about?
You still don't get it? Let me spell it out. Your husband belongs to me now.
I still don't understand why you'd think that. Are you gonna explain or not?
I came to look after your husband while you're away on business. I did all the cooking and cleaning for him, and he loved it. Plus, I saw to it that his nighttime needs were properly satisfied while I was at it. If you catch my drift, he loved that even more.
You screwed my husband while I was away on business? Who the hell do you think you are? You have no right to be at our house.
What did you expect? I felt so bad for Dan. You made it obvious you didn't want him to be happy. So I came over and spoiled him rotten. He said he prefers me to you.
Wow. So that's how it is, huh? He chose you?
Bingo! Sorry for stealing your man. Don't worry though, sis. This will all be over quickly. He already filed the divorce papers.
How is that possible when I didn't sign anything? The hell, did he forge my signature?
Maybe. But you guys were gonna divorce anyway. May as well speed up the process. They didn't notice when he handed them in, so what's the problem? More importantly, we're already engaged.
What? You and Dan already got engaged?
We didn't want to put up with you whining at us, trying to change your minds. So we figured we should do it sooner rather than later.
I see.
What's wrong, sis? Don't tell me you're surprised. You can hardly complain. This would never have happened if you just did your job as his wife.
I did my best in my own way.
Well, your best wasn't good enough. Seems like guys prefer girls like me, after all. Anyways, I have a life of luxury to plan with my rich fiancé, so I'll let you go cry now. Sorry for stealing such an amazing guy from you, but please remember this wasn't my fault. You only have yourself to blame. I'll be taking your house and your man. Okay, sis?
You're welcome to him. But you should know he's unemployed.
Huh? Unemployed? What do you mean?
I mean, my husband doesn't have a job.
What are you talking about? He told me he's a top exec at a major global company. I get it. This is some kind of desperate ploy to try and get him back, isn't it?
I'm sorry to have to be the one to break this to you, but he lied.
Huh? Lied about what?
Sure, he did used to work for a major global company, but he got fired 2 years ago when he punched his boss in the face for refusing to give him a pay raise. He's been jobless ever since.
Lies, you're lying. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I know you're lying, because he wouldn't be able to afford his sports car or all those fancy clothes if he didn't have a job.
There's a very simple explanation for that. I paid for them.
What? No way. The luxury sports car, the tailored suits, the branded accessories. He rocks a freaking P-Pax watch, for crying out loud. You're saying you bought him all that stuff?
Some of it is from back when he had a job, so I can't say I bought him everything. But he's not the one who's a top executive at a major global company. I am. He was living it large on my paycheck. That's all.
I can't believe. I don't believe you for 1 second. What is this? Some desperate attempt to get revenge on me for stealing your husband?
It makes no difference whether you believe me or not. But I think you'll find out for yourself how poor he is before long. He won't even be able to afford the rent without me. That shouldn't matter though. He has you to take care of him now. Right? You're just gonna be his babysitter. You're gonna be paying all of his bills and living expenses on top of it. Sure, maybe it is a little more than you bargained for. But I think you'll be fine. You are super committed to being the perfect wife after all.
Why would he lie to me? If he doesn't have a job, he should have just told me.
You really think it's something he goes blabbing to people about? His pride wouldn't be able to handle it. He told me never to tell anyone, no matter what. He might be at rock bottom with barely a cent to his name. But it was of utmost importance to him that people still thought he had lots of money.
Does that mean he tricked me?
It's only natural he wanted to show off even more in the presence of a pretty girl. I'm sure the lie got inflated to epic proportions for your sake. How many extra sports cars did he tell you were out for repair at the garage? To tell you the truth, I was getting sick and tired of keeping up the facade. But I knew that if I suggested we start telling people the truth, he might lose it again. So I didn't bother.
Lose it?
Last time I told him I felt uncomfortable about lying to literally everyone we know, he completely flew off the handle. It's like he was possessed by a demon. I've never seen him so angry. He trashed pretty much the entire house while screaming, "I am not poor." The aftermath was unbelievable. It was like a hurricane had hit us. Ever since then, I kept quiet and went along with the lie because I didn't want any more trouble.
What the hell? He flips out like that when you tell him something he doesn't want to hear?
Exactly. That's why I found it so hard to raise the issue of divorce. I've wanted out for a long time now, but I was terrified of what he might do. To tell you the truth, I felt trapped. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you taking such a vile man out of my hands. You even took care of the divorce for me. You're the best, sis.
Sophia, are you there? I just tried to ask Dan about him being unemployed, but the moment I did, he called me a traitor and tried to do a flying kick on me. Luckily, I was able to touch it and hightail it out of their house. But what the hell is wrong with this guy? He's insane!
I hate to say I told you so, but this is your fault for not listening to me. I saw this coming from a mile off.
Where are you? Why didn't you come home yet? I must have tried calling you over 50 times. Surely your business trip is over by now.
You told me not to come back to the house. Did you forget? You told me I'm not welcome there anymore. Did you forget that too?
Fine, I take it all back. I didn't mean that stuff. You can have Dan back. I don't want him anymore. I can't live in this house with him. He's dangerous.
I'll pass, thanks. I don't want him either. Besides, didn't you guys very kindly file for our divorce? That makes us strangers now. He's not my problem anymore.
Fine, I'll divorce him then.
You're free to do as you please. I'd be surprised if he went along with it willingly, though.
Whatever. I'll just forget his signature like we did before. I don't need his permission, and I'm not freaking asking for it if it means him flying across the room at me like a deranged ninja again. This is scary. I want out.
It's amazing how casually you talk about faking signatures. You do know that's illegal, right? It's called forgery, and you can go to jail for it. If you do, I'll have no choice but to call the cops on you.
Why the heck would you call the cops on your own sister? How does me wanting out of this insane situation have anything to do with you?
How can I stay quiet when someone tells me they're about to commit a crime and then does it right before my eyes? If you got caught and the cops saw these chat logs for some reason, I'd be liable too. Besides, don't you think you're being a little insensitive to Dan? You made him think he was about to get his own personal maidservant. And now you're dumping him because you found out he's broke. The poor guy just can't catch a break. It's no wonder he tried to ninja kick you.
I got this all wrong. I'll apologize to him. Anyway, how can you give me crap for breaking up with him when you said you wanted out for ages yourself?
Because you stole my husband. Because you take pleasure in making a fool out of me. Just like you always have. You pissed me off. And now you're gonna pay the price.
I'm sorry. I'll never make a fool of you again, sis, I swear.
I could care less about divorcing Dan. In fact, like I said, you actually did me a favor. But you didn't know that. And the fact that you went out of your way to steal him just to hurt me makes me livid. I want to see you suffer as much as possible. I won't be satisfied until you hit rock bottom. So you better brace yourself for what's coming.
Oh my god. Sophia, please don't be like this. I'm sorry. I can't do this, please. All I can do is cook and clean. How am I supposed to bring enough money to provide for this deadweight, sponging psychopath? I don't have access to the same financial resources as you.
Just go into debt.
You make it sound so simple. How am I supposed to pay it back?
Not my problem. You need to hurry up and get out of that house ASAP. I already canceled the contract. The rent's paid until the end of next month. But I wouldn't want to be you if you're not gone by then. I mean, I wouldn't want to be you anyway. But I think that goes without saying.
What about you? What are you gonna do? Where are you staying right now?
I'm staying in a hotel for now. I hired some removal guys to head over to the house and collect my things. So you can probably expect to see them soon. Everything's easier when you have money.
No fair! Why should you get to live life on easy mode while I suffer?
How is it unfair?
'Cause you're the only one who gains anything from this! You get to wash your hands of this lunatic I'm engaged to, and you have all that money! It's not fair!
Fair? You must be joking. I worked my ass off since I was a teenager to be where I am today. When everyone else was out partying and hanging out with their friends, I was at home reading textbooks. How many sleepless nights? How many late-night study sessions? How many appointments with friends do you think I had to cancel to get into Harvard? And to end up at the company I am at now? I can tell you, it didn't come easy. While you were out with a different guy every week, I was sat on my own in my bedroom, revising study material and doing mock exams. Fairness has nothing to do with it.
Still, I can't go along with what's happening right now. Why won't Dan work? I know he got fired, but surely he can find something else if he was talented enough to get hired by a company like that in the first place.
If I had to guess, I'd say he probably doesn't want to work anymore. Or rather, his pride is getting in his way. The chances of him landing something at a company like this one again are slim. So I think that instead of accepting a pay cut, he'd rather just not try. I lost count of how many times I told him to start looking for work, but it went in one ear and out the other. I gave up eventually. Good luck babysitting him.
No, I can't do this. I just wanted to be a stay-at-home housewife. Why should I have to look after this man-child?
You can still be a housewife with a part-time job.
I said stay at home! I was supposed to marry a rich guy and live in luxury. I can't be married to some jobless loser.
How can you say that? Oh, you're so mean, Emma. Don't you feel bad for him at all? Surely the reason you stole him in the first place was because you thought you and him were a good fit? I think you should work a little harder on trying to make your marriage work, instead of throwing it away at the first sign of trouble. I thought it was a wife's job to support her husband. I gladly turned a blind eye to the forging of our divorce papers and let it go through unhindered. I never went back to the house after that. Finally free from my mentally unstable ex-husband, I immediately moved into a fancy new apartment and started enjoying my new stress-free single life. However, Dan was less accepting of the situation and he tried contacting me countless times. The calls always came from different numbers, which made them hard to block. So eventually I changed my number to be rid of him once and for all. My sister may have tricked him into divorcing me, but no matter how hard she tries, she'll never make as much money as I do. Sure, she can do housework, but Dan doesn't need a maid. He needs someone who can pay the rent and put food on the table. And a shrink, of course. Without me, he doesn't have a hope in hell's chance of maintaining his old life of luxury. Actually, forget extravagance. He'll be lucky if he can even afford a loaf of bread at this rate. It seems like he realized what a moron he'd been when he got evicted from the house. Sadly for him, it was a little too late, and no matter how desperately he begged me to take him back, my resolve didn't waver for a second. I heard that he forced my sister to get a job, while, just as before, stubbornly refused to look for work himself. Rather than letting go of his luxurious lifestyle, he went into debt to maintain the facade that he was an affluent, productive member of society. I know how manipulative he can be, and I have a pretty good idea of how trapped Emma must be feeling right about now. She's probably working as if her life depends on it. That said, they can't go on like this, and it's probably only a matter of time before things fall apart between them. That's not my problem, though. I feel like a weight has been lifted from my shoulders, and things have never been better. I only have one priority right now, and that's enjoying my life on my terms.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Cody, it's been a week since we last talked about it. Can you sign the divorce paper already? I'm gonna put Mia down for bed early tonight, so maybe we can do it then?
You mean it's only been a week? You have to realize that it came out of the blue for me. You gotta give me some time to properly think about this.
I want a divorce.
I know that.
So what's the point of giving you some time to think?
Maybe nothing, but are you sure we can't work things out anymore? If it's something I did wrong, you can tell me and I'll fix it, so please. Can you give this a second thought?
This is the result of me thinking for a long time. And it's not because you did anything wrong.
Then why?
Like I told you the other day, it's me. I just don't have any feelings for you anymore.
That just means that you don't find me attractive as a man anymore, right?
I guess.
How about as a person? Don't you still love me like family? Or can you not stand me so much that we can't even live together anymore?
No, it's not like that, but I think this would happen sooner or later. I gave this a lot of thought too, you know. Mia is only 5, and it would be better for her if I could find a way to work things out as a family. But I couldn't.
Please give me a bit more time with her. At least until she's old enough.
Old enough? What exactly do you mean by old enough?
Like high school, maybe?
So you're asking me to live with someone I don't love for that long? Isn't that a living hell for both me and Mia? Wouldn't it be better for her if we just did this while she's still young?
I'm sorry. I let my selfish desire get the best of me.
No, I'm sorry too. Even though you're a good husband and a good father for Mia, this is all happening because of my feelings, so I'm really sorry, Cody.
I guess there really isn't anything I can say to change your decision anymore, is there?
No.
Okay. I will sign the divorce paper. As for Mia's custody, who should have her?
What do you mean who? Of course she's coming with me. She's only 5 years old. It's always better to stay with the mother while they're young. And you can't be with her during the day even if you take her.
You might be right, but I can always look for daycare or a babysitter.
No, definitely not. I don't want to compromise my time with Mia. I promise I will raise her properly, and I have no intention to look for a new relationship for a while. I will prioritize her at least until she's in elementary school. And I will only start thinking about work or relationship after that.
I'm planning on using as much time as I can for Mia too. And I'm sure my parents would be more than happy to help as well.
You do realize that I'm Mia's mom and I gave birth to her, right?
Yes, and I'm her dad!
We are not the same. I carried her inside me for 9 months. I'm the one who had to be in labor. Even if we were to fight over her custody, they will always favor the mother anyways. I will make sure to set up frequent visitation for you two to meet, so can't we just agree on this?
Fine.
I know you care about her deeply, so I will make sure to still ask for your opinions on how to raise Mia. And don't worry, I will make sure she knows you are her father.
Okay, I guess it could be worse. You can have her custody then.
Thanks. Let's talk about the details on alimony and child support later when you come home. I know you're in the middle of work right now, so...
Yeah, I should go back. Say hi to Mia for me. Hey Jessica, about this month's visitation. How long do I have to wait until you let me see Mia? It's already the middle of the month and I still haven't heard anything from you.
I'm sorry, I haven't been feeling well enough to reach out.
Oh, are you sick? Are you okay? I can take care of Mia until you feel better if that's the case.
No, it's okay, it's not that bad. I'm getting better now anyway.
Well, you could have at least replied to my text then.
Sorry, I just forgot. Oh, but this month might not work for us actually.
Why not?
We're planning on visiting my parents for a while.
I see. How long are you planning on staying there for?
Well, I haven't decided on the exact dates, but probably about a month.
What, that long?
Yep. Because it'll be difficult to have a long holiday like this once Mia's in school. And I'm planning on going back to work pretty soon, so this might be our last chance to relax together for a while.
I see.
But because we have to skip this month, I promise to let you spend more time with her next month.
I guess that works. But please keep your promise this time. I am paying for her child support after all. I'm doing my part.
Of course. I really appreciate you supporting us. I get to stay with her at home because of that.
Even if we are apart, I'm still her dad. I'm just doing my fair share, so you don't need to thank me.
I do hear a lot of stories about ex-husbands not paying any child support. So I guess I'm very fortunate and I shouldn't take this for granted.
Well, those guys are wrong for not supporting their children.
Yeah, I guess so. Hey, Cody. I know I'm not in a position to ask you for anything when I haven't even been able to set up your visitations, but can I ask you for a favor?
Favor?
You know how I told you that I wasn't feeling well for a while? The medical bills haven't been cheap because of that. And oftentimes I wasn't well enough to even prepare any meals, so I had to order takeout. Because of that, we're pretty tight this month, and I was wondering if you could help us a little more this time?
What? I thought I'm giving you more than enough every month. And aren't you receiving childcare from the government as well?
I'm sorry.
That's not really answering my questions. So, how much do you need then?
You're helping me?
I don't have a choice. I have to think about Mia.
Oh, thank you. $300 should cover everything for now.
Okay, I will wire that amount later.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
It's only this time. Also, when are you planning on moving out from that condo? I'm still paying for the mortgage there, so I'd like to sell it as soon as possible.
I am looking for a place, but I haven't had any luck. But I promise we'll find a place before Mia is in school for sure. Just give me a bit more time, please.
Okay, if that's the case. But I'm not waiting longer than that.
Of course.
Oh, speaking of which, about our neighbors, the Williams.
Oh, what about them?
I bumped into them on the street the other day. And they were wondering why they haven't seen me around lately. But I was in a rush to go meet one of my customers for work, and I didn't have time to explain about our divorce.
I don't think they need to know.
Well, yeah, but I did exchange contact info with Mr. Williams in the past.
Yeah, I guess you helped him with his computer once.
Yeah, that's why I kind of felt obligated to let him know.
But Mia and I wouldn't stay here for much longer. I don't think it's necessary at this point. I will let them know if they ask me directly. How's that? I don't think we need to go out of our way to tell them about this unless they ask.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Though I do feel bad that I couldn't give them a proper goodbye. But I guess I can talk to them if they ever reach out.
Yeah, I think that's good. Well, I think I should prepare to put Mia in bed soon. I'll make sure to set up a video call for you to talk with her sometime.
Yeah, thanks. Any time works for me as long as it's not during my work hours.
Hi Cody, it's been a while. This is your neighbor Catherine Williams. Hopefully I have the right number.
What, Mrs. Williams? Yes, you do have the right number, but is everything okay?
I got your number from my husband since this is an emergency. He's away on business and I know the situation better, so...
Emergency?
Yes, you and Jessica both should know that it is very irresponsible to let a 5-year-old stay at home all alone like this. I don't like to interfere and tell you how to raise your child, but this is outrageous. She's here with me right now. It doesn't matter even if you think you have a good reason.
Actually, Mrs. Williams, we got divorced a while ago and I don't live there anymore.
You guys got divorced?
Yes, I wanted to tell you the other day. But I didn't have time to explain things properly since I was on my way to see my customer.
Oh, is that so? I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Don't be. You are right to be upset about this. Could you tell me more about what's happening? Is it true Mia was staying home all by herself? I'm sure Jessica is around, no?
I didn't see her anywhere. I saw Mia playing by herself in the hallway around 3 in the afternoon today. And I asked her what she's doing, but she started crying saying there's nobody home. I felt bad, but I let myself in to make sure there really isn't anyone home. So I left a note saying she'll be here with me and waited until now, but...
You decided to reach out because neither of us came by to pick her up.
Yes, that's right. But I didn't even imagine that you two were broken up. Do you think she left because she was devastated about the divorce? There must have been some important reason for her to leave Mia all alone like this.
I don't think our divorce is the reason. Since she's the one who asked for a divorce. That's why I had to move out.
Oh, is that what happened? I'm sorry to hear that. And I apologize for jumping to conclusions.
No, anybody would be shocked to find a 5-year-old being left all alone at home. I'll head over there right now to pick her up.
She's already asleep, but it'll be better if she's with you. I wonder what happened to Jessica, though. Maybe if you check inside the house, you'll find something that I didn't. The house was, a bit unusual, to be honest.
Unusual? What do you mean by that?
It looked like she planned to be away for a while now that I think about it. There were lots of drinks and snacks stacked on the table. And there was trash everywhere.
What?
Anyways, you'll know what I mean if you see it. I think you should go check to see what's going on before you talk to Jessica.
Hey Jessica, it's almost time for my video call with Mia. Are you around? Can I call you now?
Hey, Cody, I'm sorry. Can we skip the call today?
What? Why?
It seems like Mia came down with a cold, so I already put her in bed today.
I see. Can I talk to your parents then? You are still at their place right now, right?
I am, but why do you need to talk to them?
Because I haven't had a chance to properly talk to them during the divorce.
You don't need to. It'll be very awkward for both you and them. So you really don't need to worry about it.
I would still like to talk to them.
They're also saying they'd rather not.
You are lying.
I'm not lying. They really are saying they don't want to.
They're here with me, actually.
What?
So, you lied about staying with your parents.
I'm sorry. I actually went on a trip with a friend. You know how I asked you for a bit more financial help? Because of that, it was difficult for me to tell you about the trip.
Where did you take off to for 2 weeks? Leaving Mia at home all alone? The reason why you couldn't let me talk to her on the video call is because you finally realized that she's not home anymore, correct?
How? Did you take her with you? Is that why she's not home?
Answer my questions. Where have you been for the past 2 weeks?
I'm sorry.
I don't need your apologies right now. Just tell me everything.
The part about me taking a trip with a friend is the truth. And the part about leaving Mia at home by herself as well.
What were you thinking? We are lucky that our neighbor, Mrs. Williams, noticed that Mia is all alone, but what do you think would have happened if she really had to stay all by herself for 2 weeks? Did you really think a 5-year-old can survive?
Well, Mia is pretty mature for a 5-year-old, and I did leave enough food for her, so...
She can't even open a water bottle by herself. And you only left a bunch of snacks, not food. Or do you consider those to be proper meals?
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm going to talk to Child Services about this.
What?
I'm taking custody of Mia as well.
No, please. Please, you can't do that.
You did this to yourself. You shouldn't have asked to take her if you weren't going to be there for her in the first place. You failed as a mother.
Please? I'll give you the custody. So please, don't make this into a big deal. Please.
Are you asking me this because you don't want your boyfriend to find out?
How do you know about him?
I searched the house and I went to pick Mia up. You left your old phone you were using while we were married. And I saw that your lock screen was a picture of you and some guy. So, you wanted a divorce because you guys were having an affair, right?
No, it's not like that. It wasn't an affair. He didn't know that I was married.
But you knew that it was an affair.
No, I didn't do anything.
I'm sure I can find out more if I ask the guy. I'm heading over there right now. Tell him that I want to talk to him.
No, please. He doesn't even know that I have a daughter. And he has no idea that I was married. I was going to let you have Mia once he proposed. So please, you can have her. I'll even pay you back some child support payments, so please don't tell him anything.
Did you do all this just to get child support from me in the first place?
No, of course not. I just didn't want to be separated from Mia.
How am I supposed to trust anything you say now? I will never forgive you for leaving Mia at home all alone. I'm definitely holding you accountable for this.
I'm so sorry. I'll never do this ever again.
Of course not! I will never let this happen again.
Yes, so please, please leave him out of this. I'm begging you. I will do anything.
Why would I listen to someone who's not my wife nor a proper mother to my child? I don't even think you are a human being for being able to leave a 5-year-old alone like that. You better learn a lesson from betraying and hurting both Mia and I like this. And don't ever call yourself a mother ever again! Right after that, her parents and I went over to her place to confront her directly. The reason why I was able to go there so quickly is because I knew that she would come home on the day we had the video call scheduled. Once we were inside, her father took her phone and made her unlock it to talk to the boyfriend about all this. And we found out that he really had no idea about our marriage or about Mia. After we told him about what Jessica did to Mia, he broke things off with her and told her that he never wants to see her again. Jessica burst into tears after being told that, but her parents kept scolding her, and they made her promise to pay me back some child support, to give me custody and paid child support going forward as well. After that, her parents brought her to their home with them. The reason why they did that is because they couldn't trust that she would pay me back or make the child support payments if she was left unsupervised. I don't know if she's still there with them or not, but she is making payments every month without fail. I asked her parents how she's doing once, but they told me that it's better I don't know. So I haven't asked them since. I don't care what happens to her as long as she stays away from us. As for Mia, it's unfortunate that she had to go through all that while she's so young, but now she's living a happy life with me and my parents. It seems like there were a lot of times she had to be alone when she lived with Jessica. So she followed me around everywhere for a while, but she's settled in now. There's always someone home here now, so I think she's enjoying that. But a shocking experience is hard to shake, even if you were very young. I'm going to do everything in my power to overwrite all those sad and scary memories with happy and fun memories.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Maria, can I talk to you for a moment? My son isn't replying to my messages. Has he told you anything? Is he home? It's getting late in the night. Good evening. How are you? It's been a while since we met. My husband is taking a bath right now. All right, I guess that's why he's not replying to my messages and calls. Tell him to call me back when he gets out. Of course. By the way, it's already been 2 years since you two got married. How's your cafe going? Any plans for your future? Thanks for checking on me. Fortunately, my business is going pretty well. Many people come to eat at my cafe. Every day is a busy day. We've got a lot of regular customers, and we're also coming up with ways to attract new customers as well. The seats are full most of the time. What? I'm not asking if your business is going well or not. I'm asking you when you're planning to close down your restaurant. I don't plan to close down. We're doing really great. There's no reason to close down. And many people visit us, feeling excited to taste our menu. We put a lot of effort in coming up with new seasonal menus, and they're one of the most popular dishes at our cafe. Even so, I don't see why you won't close down. Are you aware of your age? You're 32. That's about a third of your life. How about you become a housewife and support your husband? You're too old to pursue your hobby. I think it's about time to focus on your housework. It's not a hobby. I do enjoy working at my cafe, but it's a business. I'm a cafe owner. I manage the cafe as my job. But isn't it hard when both of you work? My son has a job, and you also insist that you have a job as a cafe owner. I doubt you have enough time to complete the housework at home. My husband is very cooperative. We work together to do things around the house. We're managing fine, so I don't think you have to worry about us. We're dividing our roles, and we each have different chores to complete. I think we're working very efficiently. Don't you understand? I'm telling you not to make my son do housework. He is tired from a long day of work. I'm so sorry for him. He shouldn't have to do anything at home. But that applies to me, too. I also have a job, and I feel tired after a day of work. We try to support each other as much as we can. My son makes enough money to support both of you. I don't see why you have to work outside, too. I wouldn't call that efficient. You might think you have a successful business, but it's not easy to manage a cafe on your own for a long period of time. Your business would face a downfall soon enough. Have you thought of what you would do when you get pregnant? You'll have to close down. You can't work when you're pregnant. It's better if you can just become a housewife to look after your children at home. No, I won't close down. I already have plans for that. I'll work for as long as I can, and I'll ask my co-owner, who's in charge of the cooking, to cover for my responsibilities for some time while I take my maternity leave. Plus, my friends from vocational school have my back. They're willing to help me whenever I'm short of hands. Even so, you never know what would happen in the future. I bet you don't serve any decent food at your cafe. Probably just expensive with a mediocre taste. People will soon be tired of the menu and would stop visiting your cafe. I advise you to start facing the reality. What if you had to borrow money in the future to support your business? That's going to be awful. I know the risks as a business owner, so I'm trying my best to make my business successful. I try to plan ahead. Thanks for your advice, though. It reminds me of how risky it can be. And what are your plans for giving birth? When are you planning to get a baby? You're getting older. You have to start preparing now, or it would be too late. What would you do if you can't get pregnant because of your age? Having a baby is a blessing. It's not something we can control. Think about your age. The time limit is just ahead of you. You'll soon be too old to get pregnant. It's probably because you're busy working at the cafe. I bet you don't make enough time to spend with my son. I do make time to spend with my husband, and I don't think that I'm old yet. We don't have to rush, in my opinion. Then why are you still not pregnant after being married for 2 years? I can't believe it. We are taking our time and doing things at our own pace. I'm very worried about my son's future. You're making me very worried because you're taking things too slowly. I'm sorry, but we made our future plans as a couple. After having some discussions with my husband, we know what we're doing. I hope you can leave us alone and respect our decisions. We're compromising and finding our own style as a couple. I guess there's no point in telling you anything. You don't seem to listen to me at all. Remember, I've been living longer than you and know what's best to do in life. I do respect your advice and opinions as well. Thanks for being considerate. No need to flatter me like that. I know you don't feel that way. I really don't understand why my son married a stubborn girl like you. It gives me a headache. I'm sorry if I'm the reason for your headache. If you're sorry, how about you do what I tell you? You'll soon regret not listening to me. I'm warning you. Maria, do you have some time now? Are you still working? No, I just finished preparing for tomorrow. I have some time now. Oh, I see. I didn't know your cafe closed this early. We don't serve dinner at my cafe, so we close pretty early. By the way, your friend visited my cafe today. She was really nice. Yes, I know that. That's why I texted you. I wanted to make sure. I hope you weren't rude to her. I don't think I was. She told me she loved our menu. I was really glad to hear that. And she even promised to visit again. She was a very sweet person. I see. Did she complain about anything? I hope she wasn't just lying to make me feel good. No, she didn't say much. She just told me she enjoyed the food. But she's the type to think all of the food she tasted was good. So don't be too happy about her advice. She would still say it was delicious even if it was awful. I'm just glad she had a good experience at the cafe. She left with a smile, and that's what I hope for most. And she tried our most popular menu. I'm pretty confident that she liked it. But actually, she told me one thing that made me feel concerned. She told me that your co-owner was a man. I never knew that. Yes, I work with my friend who was my junior at the restaurant I used to work for. I might not have told you that before. He dreams of having his own restaurant one day, so he's learning some necessary skills as he works for my cafe. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, to be honest. You spend time with him a lot, and you two are the only ones working at the cafe with no other employees. He's a man, you know. Don't tell me you're cheating on my son. Excuse me? What are you talking about? You can't be serious. He's just my coworker. There's nothing more than that. It's no big deal. You can't just be suspicious of all the men I meet at work. But I don't know. You do everything together at work, right? Something looks suspicious here. We're serious about our job. We're too busy working to think about having an affair. You know that I'm married to my husband. I love him from the bottom of my heart. And just to make things clear, my coworker is also dating someone else. There's no way we're having an affair. Some people still decide to flirt even when they're seeing someone, so I don't think that would prove your innocence. Do I look like I'm that kind of person to you? I'll never do that, and he'll never do that as well. I feel like you're looking down on us as people who would easily cheat on their partners. Our only goal is to serve good food and make our customers happy. We're taking this business very seriously. And we also have other employees at the cafe who work as waiters. We're rarely alone in the cafe. There's nothing to be suspicious about. I respect him as a coworker, and he respects me as the owner of the cafe. There's nothing more to our relationship. I doubt it. From my perspective, it seemed like you didn't want to close down because you'll have to end things with him. You'll lose your opportunity to spend time with your secret lover. I didn't understand why you didn't want to close down, but now everything makes sense. Please stop thinking that way. It's not true, and it's rude to both of us. Oh, are you angry because I found out your little secret? No. My husband also knows that I work with him. He trusts me and knows how important he is to me as my coworker. He's actually visited our house several times. We sometimes invite him over to have dinner with us. What did you just say? You invited him over? Yes, I invited him to come visit me and my husband for dinner. My husband is also close to him, and we're all really good friends. There's really nothing going on between us. I don't understand why you're so worried about me having an affair with him. Have you ever thought about how my son might be feeling about you and your coworker? My husband is very supportive about it. Oh, so my son approves of you having an affair with another man. I guess I won't have to wait long until you get a divorce with my son. What? I meant that he's supportive about my business. He understands that I respect my coworker as my business partner. But if you're so caught up in your job, I bet my son will soon get tired of you. He would want a better wife who would care for him more as a supportive housewife. You're starting to feel like you're better than him as a successful business owner, no? I'm telling you, you'll soon realize what a large mistake you made for not caring about the household enough. I care about my family a lot. My husband means a lot to me. I value both my job and my family. I care for both. But compared to a housewife, you aren't doing enough, and I know you're aware of that. Yes, I'm aware of that, but we have our own ways of supporting each other as partners. We don't have to fit into the stereotypes. Let's say you were a professional chef at one of the best restaurants in the country. I would keep my mouth shut if you had such a prestigious career. But you're just a normal cafe owner who does business as a hobby. I don't want you to ruin my son's life just because you enjoy being a cafe owner. I'm taking my business very seriously. Can I ask a favor? Could you please try visiting my cafe once? We don't serve those ready-made meals at our cafe. We're very serious about our menu and take a lot of time to plan, cook, and serve. You would understand how much effort we put into this business if you can come visit us at the cafe. Do you think I have enough time for that? Also, I only eat high-quality food. I don't consume any of those fast foods. I would never be satisfied with your menu. There's no need for me to taste it. Okay, my cafe has a great reputation, so I am confident you would have a good experience visiting my cafe. Let me make this clear. I don't approve of you having a job when my son already makes enough money to support both of you. I can't accept how you make my son do housework after he comes home from a long day of work. I don't think someone like you who brings home trouble deserves to be with my son. I hope you realize how much your hobby affects the people around you negatively. Do you know how much of a burden you are to my son? It would be ideal if you can just break up with my son. Maria, have you opened your cafe yet? It's still early in the morning. It's not open yet. We're still preparing for our lunch menu. I have a favor to ask you. Can I talk to you for a moment? Of course. I would be willing to help if the favor is within my capabilities. You're the only one who's capable of doing so. You're the only one I can ask. My friend's birthday is coming up, so I'm planning to have a birthday party for her. Well, that's very sweet of you. Right? I know. And I thought I might do it at your cafe. Is it possible to reserve the whole cafe for the party? Really? Are you sure you want to have the party at my cafe? Yes. Do you remember the friend of mine who visited your cafe the other day? She was the one who suggested that your cafe might be the best place to hold the party. I see. Well, I'm glad she thought that way. So, I want to make a reservation for next Thursday. There will be about 30 of us. How about I reserve the whole cafe for 3 hours? Is that possible? 30 people? Let me check. Do you have any preferences about what you would want to be served at the party? I'll take note if you have anything in particular that you want us to serve. Let me think. Maybe a simple lunch course would be nice. I would prefer fish as the main dish rather than meat. It would be great if the price is under $50 for one person. Do you think you can do that? Okay, let me write that down. But if you're aiming for a simple lunch course, you might want to drop the price down a bit more. Don't worry, we grandmas have a lot of money. When are we supposed to spend all the money we saved while we were still young? Okay, if you insist so. I hope you can check with me after you decide on the menu. Text me again after you finalize what you would be serving at the party. I just want to make sure it aligns with what I asked you. Of course. It's a great opportunity for me to prove that I'm taking this business very seriously. I'll do my very best, so please look forward to it. Yes, I'm actually excited to try your food. Your cafe has a pretty good reputation in the neighborhood, so your menu must be great. I've heard that your cafe was published in a magazine the other day. How wonderful. If your cafe is so good that it was published in a magazine, I thought I might give it a taste as well. Thank you. I'm glad you changed your mind. I'll try my best to meet your expectations and definitely surprise you and your friends with some great food. Maria, good morning. I assume you're starting to get ready for the party? Yes, that's right. Actually, there's something I want to apologize to you about. Can I talk to you for a moment? I would like to cancel today's reservation. What? Unfortunately, the friend who I planned the birthday party for told me that she wouldn't be able to come. Apparently, she caught a cold. I have no other choice than to cancel. I never expected her to get sick on her birthday. I'm sorry to ruin your plans today. I bet all the ingredients you were prepared to serve 30 people would go to waste. You prepared to hold a party at your cafe today. Now that I canceled the reservation, it must be a huge loss for your cafe. No, it's okay. I haven't done anything to prepare for it, so it's all right. What? You haven't been preparing for my reservation today? Yes, that's right. Didn't I tell you that I wanted to reserve the whole cafe today? I asked you to prepare a lunch course for 30 people. Yes, you did tell me that. But I knew that you wouldn't be having the birthday party at my cafe, so I didn't prepare for it. I know that you're planning to go see a play today at the theater. I assume that's correct? Why do you know about my plans? I heard about it from your friend. Who? don't you remember that friend of yours who visited my cafe a while ago? She really seemed to love my cafe, and she's now a regular customer. She visits almost every day. I'm very thankful for her support. Really? I never knew. Yes, she's a very sweet person. And do you remember what you told me about her? You said that she was the one who gave you advice about holding the birthday party at my cafe. So I figured I should thank her for that, but then she didn't understand what I was talking about, and I realized that you were lying to me. What do you mean? How do you know it's a lie? Don't blame me. You can't be sure that everything is a lie. I actually didn't invite her to the party, so she wouldn't know. Oh, really? But you did cancel today's reservation, so all ended well. Lucky me. Nothing is well. What would you have done if I didn't cancel today's reservation? I bet you didn't prepare for today's reservation on purpose so that you could embarrass me in front of my friends. Do you know how evil you are? I don't care what you think about me. You're banned from my cafe. What did you just tell me? Your friends offered to help me do some research about you. Thanks to their help, I found out the truth. Research? For what? What truth did you find out? About whether the birthday party was actually planned or not. I found out that you were bragging to your friends about getting a ticket for the popular play scheduled today. So I assumed that you pretended to make a reservation just to make me suffer. No, why would I ever do that? Then do you have proof? Can you prove your innocence? I would believe you if you can show me the invitations you sent to your friends for the birthday party. And I would apologize to you for not preparing for today's reservation. I don't have them with me anymore. I can't show them now. Then I guess you don't deserve my apology. Maria, what's with your attitude? I'm your mother-in-law. You ignored your mother-in-law's reservation, and you don't seem to regret anything. Do you even have common sense? I think you're the one without common sense. You're the one who's being unbelievable. I had some discussions about what to do in the future with your son. And we came to the decision that it might be best if we break relations with you. My husband would go see you in person to talk to you about this, so I hope you can have a talk with him directly. It's no big deal breaking relations with you. I never approved of you to be my daughter-in-law anyways. I don't really mind. It's not just me. My husband would also be breaking relations with you. What? Why would my son ever do that to me? He's had enough of your immature actions and came to the decision of breaking relations with you. He told me that he's been receiving countless messages from you telling him to get a divorce from me. He showed me the overwhelming amount of messages. It was creepy, actually. And he said you even called him during his work hours to pressure him about getting a divorce with me. You're disturbing him while working. How can you do that to your son? I didn't disturb him. It was just a casual talk between son and mother. It's not a big deal. But my husband was annoyed and exhausted from having to reply to your messages and calls. And I know you've been spreading bad rumors about me to the people around you. You are ruining my reputation, and that's a crime. If you continue doing so, we plan to hire a lawyer to deal with the case. We can't let this go on any longer. A lawyer? I think you're going overboard. It's unnecessary. You spread rumors about me cheating on my husband. When did I ever do that? Didn't I explain to you in detail the other day? I don't think I'm overreacting. I'm just trying to take the necessary steps. Okay. I won't do that anymore. Is that enough for you? Yes, don't do that ever again. And we'll break relations with you so that we'll never see each other again. What? You're still angry? I just apologized to you. Both my husband and I would never forgive you for what you did. We hope we'll never see you again. Why are you so angry? What's the big deal? It's all because of you. How about you reflect on your actions for the past few years? And one of your friends' husbands owns a restaurant like me. You should know how lethal it is to cancel a reservation on the actual day. You should know better than this. All your friends seemed surprised to hear about what you were planning to do at my cafe. Hey, how many people know about this? About how I planned to cancel the reservation on purpose? Why would I know? I don't know how many friends you have. But as far as I know, many of your friends plan not to get in touch with you ever again, finding out about what kind of person you really are. Maria, I'm so sorry. I promise not to do it ever again. Yes, I don't think you deserve a second chance. If you did the same thing again, I will take the necessary steps and seek help from the experts. How about we end it peacefully this time? Can you tell my friends that it was just a little fight between you and I? Don't make it sound like I'm the villain. You know, I can't just lose my friends. You should tell them directly. I don't think it's my responsibility. If they really consider you as their friend, they'll probably be willing to hear the story from your perspective. Only if you weren't so rude to them on a daily basis. I wish you good luck in trying to convince them. I'm about to lose not only my son, but my friends as well. Don't you feel sorry for me? Why would I? You did worse things to me, remember? And I think you deserve it. To be honest, it's all the result of your actions. Let me apologize, Maria, please. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me. If you forgive me, I know everyone else would also understand. Let me make things clear. It's not like everything would go back to normal if you apologize to me. Think about how much trouble you're causing to your surroundings. Do you know how much of a burden you are to your friends and family? Your mean and evil actions, inconsiderate of the people around you, they all came back to you. My husband had a talk with his mother, and they came to an agreement after a long discussion. My husband forbade her to come near our house and my cafe, and also banned her from contacting both me and my husband in any way. In case of an emergency, my husband's sister would help us communicate with her mother. I'm glad she respects our decision and is willing to help us out. If she ever broke the rule again, we will definitely take legal action and bring the case to court. She suffered from shock after her friends left her, and my husband decided to break relations with her. And apparently she now barely goes outside and never leaves the house. She used to love to brag and badmouth others behind their back, so I guess her problematic personality caused people to cut relations with her. She wasn't the best person to hang out with, obviously. I hope she got a taste of her own medicine and would change her personality for the better. Hopefully she reflects on her mistakes while she's at home. That would be what's best for her as well. After breaking relations with my mother-in-law, I've had a very busy but fulfilling life. My cafe is doing very well, and many customers visit on a daily basis. It's all thanks to the people around me who supported me during my hard times. I can't thank them enough. I will never forget what they did for me, and hopefully I get to return something to them as well. That's my goal for the future. I will live a happy life with my beloved husband and build a lovely family with him, spending the rest of our lives together as we support each other.
Bonnie, are you there? Is everything all right with you? Are you eating properly? Like, actually having a decent meal every day?
Hi, Lauren. Well, I'm all right as I can be. However, as for the food situation, I can't eat, but I don't have much of an appetite at the moment.
I get what you mean, but no matter what the situation's like, you've got to eat something at least. Just so you've got some energy to do things, especially now that you're carrying a child inside you. You need to feed the baby as well as yourself.
I guess you're right. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to make you so worried, Lauren.
It's okay. We can't help what's going on. It's really unfortunate. I never imagined anything like this could happen to this family.
Why did it have to be my husband that went through something like this? We were talking about having a big family together, and we were looking forward to so many things.
It really is such a shame that this has happened to us. My brother's health hasn't always been the best, but I didn't imagine that he'd pass away at such a young age.
What am I supposed to do without him now? He was my strength, and now he's gone. I never thought my husband would lose his life at a time like this. How am I supposed to do this pregnancy without him? And on top of that, he'll never meet his baby.
I'm sure you can't help but feel anxious about the whole situation and having to raise a child on your own. Maybe once you're about to give birth to your child, you could go back to your hometown for help?
Yeah, that was the original plan we discussed together. I plan to return home for the birth as planned.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm going to suggest something to you. Maybe you should move back in with your parents and live in their house.
It's not a bad suggestion, but I've got this house here. There wouldn't be much point in living with my parents. But are you really going to live in the house and do everything all by yourself with a baby you need to take care of 24/7? Besides, the house will be way too big for just the two of you. It'll be too much to handle. But still, this is like a keepsake of my husband. We made a lot of memories in this house, and I don't think I'm ready to give that up yet. This is my home. I finally got to have it after all the hard work that's been put towards it. Of course, but you poor thing, though, having to do this all by yourself? You'll probably have to go back to work after your maternity leave is over. You won't be able to work like you used to because of the baby. Even though you own such a lovely house, it costs money to maintain. You know that, right? But if I rented a different place, it would cost me money every month, and there are more worries when it comes to renting. I don't want to have to deal with noise issues or having neighbors complaining about my baby crying in the middle of the night. This house is the one my husband and I decided to buy together, and it means a lot to me. I have a lot of memories here. I can't just leave it. I don't feel like I can give it up and sell it to someone else. But who said anything about selling it to someone else, Bonnie? I'll take the house off your hands. You would want the house? I don't understand why you'd want it for yourself, though. Well, now that things have turned out like this, I think you should go back to your parents' house to get some help. It's really tough doing things on your own. You'd be completely alone. I will take on the responsibility of looking after the house. It's an important keepsake to my brother. I'm really grateful for your concerns, Lauren, but I still don't feel like giving up the house. It's mine as well. You do realize I'm thinking of you when I'm saying all these things, right? Owning a house is more difficult than you think, Bonnie. Do you know about taxes and that sort of thing? My husband and I have an FC who always takes care of us. If anything happens, then I'll go to them for advice. It's fine. FC? What's an FC? What do they do? It's short for financial consultant. They help us out with our money and what we need to pay for. Are you sure they're the right person to go to? You're not being scammed out of your money, are you? I think it's fine, Lauren. They're a friend of mine. We became friends during our time at university. They've treated me well up until this point. But I don't really understand that, though. But now that your husband's gone, they might take advantage of you and suck you into something you shouldn't be involved in. I think it'll be safer for you to stay with your parents because they can help with everything. Even so, I still want to stay in my house. I'm capable of doing a lot of things on my own. It hasn't been that long since we moved into this place. I can't just part from all the memories of my husband that we made in this house yet. Look, I am sick of you not taking my advice. You need to hurry up and leave that house. Lauren, are you okay? What's going on here? Why are you pushing this so much? Okay, Bonnie, I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't really want to, but I want to say you're so stubborn and never listen to me. I think it's all your fault that my brother is no longer with us. What's that supposed to mean? Are you seriously blaming me for the death of my husband? You think it's my fault? Haven't you been giving my brother a lot of grief recently? If you as his wife truly looked at how he was feeling, he wouldn't have gotten so sick. You should have noticed something was wrong with him because his body looked so thin and weak. But when he left home in the morning, he looked the same as usual. I heard that he suddenly became ill at work. There was nothing that I could have done about his condition. There must have been some sort of sign that you didn't see, Bonnie. If you can't even notice changes like that in your husband, then haven't you failed as a wife? I'm sorry. He said that he felt fine, and I always kept a close eye on him and his physical condition. I would rather not hear your apologies. Just give me my brother back. I don't even recognize you as his wife anymore. You did nothing to save him. You need to return home and never come back. I understand that it's something that you're feeling right now. You're right in the sense that I should have kept a closer eye on him. Maybe I could have seen something that would have prevented him from dying, but I didn't. But that's besides the point. I can't let go of this house. Why are you being so stubborn right now after everything you've done to this family? How could you act like this? A house is an important asset, Lauren. My child will suffer if I don't have this asset. I'll protect this house for the sake of my baby. The house is also a part of my brother. Besides, my parents were the ones that paid for the deposit. You know that, right? I do know that. There's a reason for them doing that. Which means that this house truly isn't yours to stay in, especially if my parents helped you both out. Lauren, my unborn child is also a keepsake of him. His blood will run through this child's veins. Are you going to take a home away from his child? My husband wouldn't want that happening to his unborn child. Don't you dare use your unborn child as a shield. You're a complete coward. That child doesn't matter to me at all. You don't care about it? Even though it's your brother's baby, your niece or nephew? I've got no compassion for the child since it's also half of you as well. I want to see it disappear somewhere along with its mother. So you want me to disappear so that you can have my house all to yourself? Is that it? And what's so wrong with taking my brother's things? They should be given to his family, right? I'm not giving you this house, Lauren. I'm going to protect my husband's things. I'm his family too, and I was his wife. I can't let you do this. So I found that some sort of oil was sprinkled at my front door. You didn't happen to do something like this, Lauren? I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Bonnie. But it must have been you, since I know it was you who put graffiti on my walls the other day. It was super difficult to remove. Like I said before, Bonnie, I've got no idea who targeted you like that. Well, you seem to be the only one who wants to get rid of me. You're the one who wants me out of this house. Is that what you think? Well, if you don't feel safe being there with all those things happening, shouldn't you leave? You better hurry along and go back to your parents' house, no? And give birth to your child there. And then you intend to take over the house while I go back home, am I right? That house is mine because he was my brother. I'll inherit all of my brother's things. As you should know already, the house belongs to his spouse. That's me, Lauren. You've got no rights when it comes to that house. You're the one who took my brother's life away from him. You're still going on about that? I never knew that you were so devoted to your younger brother, Lauren. The love between siblings isn't really something witnessed by a lot of people. Yeah, but it's not like you or my husband interacted much. It's quite surprising how you're so desperate for my husband's belongings. If you've got something that you want to say, Bonnie, why don't you just come out and say it? Fine, I will. You act like you cared a lot about my husband, but all you really want is to steal my house, right? What's that supposed to mean? Why would I need to steal what's rightfully mine? This is where we're different, Lauren. I love my husband. I supported him when he was having a difficult time. I'll not give away anything to anyone what my husband and I have worked so hard to obtain. After my husband died, I lost the will to live, but I'll continue to fight to protect this house from your grasp. You're going to fight me over this? Up until the other day, you were acting like such a delinquent by not doing as I say. And I'll continue to be this way. As my due date approaches, I feel like I've gained a lot of strength and want to live for my baby. I've got to fight for what my baby deserves. Oh, so you're just going to treat me like I'm the bad guy? You're the one that took my brother's life away. Indeed, I take responsibility for not keeping an eye on his declining health. I really thought that he was okay, but I guess he wasn't. But the illness that killed my husband was acute. There was nothing anyone could have done to save him. The doctor said that it would have been difficult to predict his chances of living. Don't you dare open up all that crap again. My brother's lifespan had been shortened dramatically because he married a woman like you. A woman like me? What's that supposed to mean? Enlighten me with your thoughts about who I am. You were hardly at home till you got pregnant, weren't you? You told people you were working, but really, you were playing around, no? I wasn't doing any such thing. Are you really accusing me of something I didn't do? We were going to buy a house, so of course I was working hard to earn some money. I didn't have time to do anything else but work. How dare you accuse me of fooling around? Well, I wonder how much of what you're saying is true. Is that child in your stomach even my brother's child, Bonnie? Of course it's my husband's child. Are you kidding me right now, Lauren? I feel so sorry for my brother that he would even try to make a family with someone who lies to everyone. He got caught in your net, and then he goes and dies at an early age. Why did this have to happen to him? Would you quit putting me down? I'm really starting to get annoyed. Please stop making such negative assumptions towards my unborn child. Look, I was just trying to guess what you've been truly doing. Besides, if you're getting angry, doesn't that mean I've hit a nerve? You be careful about what you're about to say next, Lauren. The words you just used are also words that are insulting the memory of my husband. See, you're getting angry. You're hiding something. I know it. So you're definitely sure that the child in you is my brother's kid. Okay, that's it. I'm done with this. I can't deal with your insults any longer, Lauren. I am done with this conversation. Okay, come on. Wait 1 minute, Bonnie. I'm not finished with this conversation yet. Well, I am. I'm ending it. I don't see much point in carrying on the conversation if all you're going to do is insult me and my unborn child. I'm really sorry about yesterday. I was being rude and the blood completely rushed to my head. I assume that you still want me to move out of my house? You are being more than rude, Bonnie. You never listen to anyone and you're so stubborn. Of course I want you out of the house. But I don't get it. Why do you want me out of there so much? Can you please tell me honestly what is the reason for this? Oh my God, Bonnie, how many times do I actually have to tell you? It's your fault that my brother isn't here with us anymore. If you did your job of being a wife properly, his illness could have been prevented. You've failed as a wife. Okay. You also said you think that my child I'm pregnant with is the result of an affair, right? Do you seriously think that? I wouldn't put it past you. It's an absolute possibility that the child isn't my brother's. A wife who uses work as an excuse to not be in the house is obviously suspicious. No matter what way you look at it, it's dodgy. You totally could have had an affair and my brother would have had no idea. That's such a terrible thing to say. I loved your brother with all my heart. I would never cheat on him. How dare you accuse me of that? I guess you really hate me a lot if you're making accusations like that about me and my unborn child. I thought I could class you as my sister that I could go to for anything and be supported. I guess I can't do that anymore. My brother's no longer on this earth, and you're not a part of this family anymore. Now get a move on and leave the house. Your parents must be waiting for you at your real home. With you out of the picture, I can take over the house. Oh, Lauren, I forgot to mention something to you. The family is looking at this conversation you and I are having right now. Is that all right with you? I just need to tell them what's going on so I can get things in order. Family? What family are you even talking about? Well, it's actually your mom and dad who are reading the messages you've just sent me. Also, my parents came from their house to be with me. Excuse me, what? Are you serious? My parents and your parents are both at your house right now? I was actually thinking of going back to my parents' house for a bit, so my parents came over to pick me up. But I thought, before doing that, I'd catch up with my mother-in-law to see how she's doing. Are you telling me that my parents can see every single message I have sent to you? You showed them our private conversation? Yes, they have. I guess I should have told you sooner that our conversation was being watched. How dare you not tell me? That's a breach of my privacy. You're so horrible. You never consider anyone else's feelings. No, that would be you, Lauren. You really wanted my house, didn't you? Well, it's what my husband left to me and his child. All you needed to do was leave, quietly. But now you're trying to lure my parents into taking your side? Well, your father also said that there was nothing that could have been done to save my husband, but you continue to blame me for his death. You know that if I could have helped my husband, then I would have done everything in my power to save him. Are you acting right now? I can't believe this crap you're saying. You're just being like this because my parents are standing right in front of you. What's that supposed to mean? Why would I act out my true feelings about this? It wouldn't make sense. You've got some cheek talking to me like that. Up until yesterday, you were so angry. Because I was desperately trying to fight back. My heart was screaming so loud. I just wanted it all to stop. I needed to stop you saying such cruel things. I just wonder why you've got so much to say. Stop making up lies. I haven't done anything. You're not as weak as I thought you were. You're the one who's fabricating information to make me look bad. I've had enough of it. Saying things like my child was made during an affair? Really, Lauren? How could you sink so low? If you really doubt me, then I'll do a DNA test, shall I? I don't know. What's happening with my parents, Bonnie? How are they reacting? Well, of course they're furious with how you're treating me. They said that you're being disrespectful and heartless. What the heck? I'm allowed to say how I feel. Are they seriously becoming allies with you now or something? Why are they being like this? I'm their daughter. They should be on my side. This is despicable. I am outraged. Why do you always act like the cute, innocent one in all situations? The cute, innocent one? What's that supposed to mean? You're the one who's treating me like crap, Lauren. Do you think what you're accusing me of is important? My parents were the ones who provided the deposit so that you could get the house, right? And now they're taking your side? Stop dragging them away from me. Without a husband, you shouldn't be a part of this family. You're nobody to us. Well, my father-in-law trusts me and doesn't want me out of the family. You know, there was a time that your brother never left his room before he married me, right? He was so worried about his relationships with colleagues at work and he got super depressed. What's that got to do with anything, Bonnie? You're going completely off topic. At the time he was about to give up on life, I noticed something strange about his actions and did everything I could to stop him from taking his life. Your parents were really grateful for what I did for him. He was going through a really bad time mentally, and I helped him through it. I had no idea that any of that happened to my brother. I was never told. Because I didn't want to worry you about him, but my husband also asked me to not tell you anything. Because of this, your parents have taken good care of me. My brother didn't want to tell me that he was depressed? Now do you understand what's going on? It looks like now you're standing on the edge of a cliff. That puts you in a really bad position, Lauren. Well, it looks like I'll be going back to my hometown. I just got a message from your parents. They want me to go back to my parents' house right now. What? Really? Did my parents say anything else to you apart from that? It looks like they're going to stop supporting their daughter. You're a yoga teacher, right? You want to have more independence, yeah? Does that mean they're going to stop financially supporting me? They can't do that. Not only that, but they no longer consider you their daughter. They can't just do that to me. I was born into this family, and no matter what, I am still their daughter. Well, your mother said that they plan on using up as much money as possible while they're still alive. They don't want you to inherit anything or steal their money like you've tried to steal my house. Are you kidding me right now? They wouldn't go that far, surely. They've got nothing to be angry about. I didn't do anything. You literally tried to take advantage of my husband's death and steal his house from his pregnant wife. Of course they're allowed to be angry at you for that. And your parents consider me as a benefactor since I was your brother's wife. That's a huge problem. I'll never be able to survive if they don't give me any money. How am I supposed to save up for anything? Figure it out yourself, Lauren. You're an adult, remember? You can do everything on your own now since you wanted to be independent. If you want anything, you're going to have to buy it yourself, not get the money from mom or dad. Shut up, Bonnie. This is all your fault. You've made my parents turn against me. Don't you think you've brought that on yourself, Lauren? Get your own source of income. You're a grown-up. Okay, can't we just make up? You know, be sisters again. You know what I said to you was just a joke, right? You want us to be friendly again and be sisters? Not a chance, Lauren. You burnt that bridge a long time ago. How dare you? You've got no strength. You rely on my parents to fight for you. You've got no way to survive on your own. I've got a lot of people supporting me, Lauren. I'm allowed to protect myself from people like you. My late husband is the one who gives me strength every day to keep going. After that, my baby was born in my hometown. My parents worried what would happen to me, but I still returned to my house after my baby was born. While I was away, my in-laws would sometimes clean the house for me. I heard that Lauren was scrambling to find money since she'd been cut off. She ended up being scammed and was several $1,000s in debt. Her business was a failure and ended up incurring even more debt. Even when she was lost as to what to do, her parents never lent a hand. Her parents usually come by to my house. They're grateful to be able to spend time with their grandchild. They also want me to remarry whenever I find the right guy. I want to celebrate with them on the past events that happened, as they're truly honest and loving people that have helped me through tough times. I can't believe there was someone like Lauren in their family. I'll continue to live in this house that my husband left me and tell my child how wonderful their father was. Hey there, Carol. I wanted to let you know that I'll be going to Judy's school observation day next week. My brother just called me a little bit ago and asked if I could go in your place. What? He's sending some ugly girl like you to go in my place? Whatever, that's fine. But be sure to tell all the parents there that you are not Judy's mother, okay? Let me remind you that I'm doing you the favor of going to Judy's school because neither you nor my brother can make it. Most people typically say thank you when someone does them a favor, not insult their appearance. Okay, thank you. There, I said it. My brother said that he had work that he couldn't get out of that day. Can I ask why you can't go? I'm going to a friend's wedding. A wedding? This must be a very long wedding if it's going to keep you from being able to go to Judy's school in the morning. What are you trying to say? Nothing at all. It's just, well, you never attended any of Judy's school events. The track and field day, her school play, the choir concert. You missed every single one of them. And either my brother has to go alone, or he calls me up and asks me to come along with him. Yeah, and how is that my fault? It just so happens that I have plans every time Judy has a school event. It's a total coincidence. Don't you think that you could cancel your plans and give Judy priority once in a while? I understand that you're busy, but I think it's making Judy sad that you're never at any of these events. But all the other mothers are. Get off my back. You're single and have nothing but free time on your hands, but I actually have stuff to do. She's especially sad this time, Carol. She was really, really hoping that you would come. You should have seen the look on her face when she learned you weren't coming. You are so full of it. Judy's a reasonable girl. She's not going to throw a hissy fit just because I'm not going to some stupid school event. I think she's just good at hiding how she really feels, especially from you. And I don't think it's very healthy for her to have to keep on bottling her emotions up inside like this. Eventually, all that pent-up frustration and sadness is going to burst. Hi, Carol. I just got back from Judy's school. How was it? I bet everyone was laughing their heads off at you the whole time. Like, whoa, I'd hate to be the kid that has to live with that thing for a mom. And just think about poor Judy when she saw you walk into the classroom. Did she start crying right away, or did it take a few minutes? You're partially right. A ton of people were laughing. At you. Huh? Why would they be laughing at me? More precisely, about half of the room was snickering at you, and another third or so was just shaking their heads in disgust. The rest were clearly furious at you. I could tell from the looks on their faces. What are you talking about? Everyone was talking about me at school? Yep. Why? Why would they be laughing or angry at me when I wasn't even there? You're lying, aren't you? They were laughing at you, right? No, they were definitely talking about you. Okay, so tell me why. It's all because of the topic of the class today. The kids were giving presentations about the projects they made in art class. Oh my God, I dodged a bullet there. Having to listen to a bunch of snotty kids drone on about their stupid art projects? I'd rather throw myself off the roof of the school. The projects were actually pretty incredible. It was a completely free project, so the kids were able to make anything they felt like. Judy made a picture book. A picture book? Why did she make a picture book? Well, Judy loves drawing and loves books, so she decided that she would put those two interests together and make a picture book. Wait, didn't you know that she likes to draw? Do you actually know anything about what Judy likes? Forget what she likes. Do you know anything about your own daughter? Like, at all? Of course I know what she likes. I just thought it was weird that she made a picture book for an art project, that's all. Like, don't kids usually just draw pictures or make a sculpture out of popsicle sticks for art class? Judy is a very talented girl, Carol. You really should have seen her picture book. It was fantastic. So what does this picture book have to do with me? The title was Who's with Mommy? It was quite an interesting story. That's a weird title. Wait until you hear the story. It's about a little girl who sees her mother together with a man she doesn't know. It doesn't really have a resolution or ending. It's just a bunch of scenes where the narrator sees her mom together with a strange man and talks about how she feels during each scene. That's it? That's not a story. She's been working on this project in school for months and she didn't even write a proper ending? Well, she is still just a child, so you'll have to excuse her for not having the skills of a professional author or illustrator. But the most interesting thing about that picture book was what inspired Judy to write it. You see, Judy wrote that picture book based on her own real experiences. Huh? So, like I said, the main character of the story is a girl who keeps seeing her mom together with a strange man. And every time she sees them together, the two are lying down on the bed together, naked. Oh, and I think this goes without saying, but the man in the story is not the girl's father. Hey, wait a second. I'll spare you the trouble of thinking and spell it out for you. Judy wrote this book about catching you having an affair. Judy really is an exceptional girl. The pictures were incredibly realistic, and the main character's inner dialogue felt so raw and genuine. She went over all the finest details of each scene of the book. The time of day, the weather, the music playing in the background, everything. Are you being serious right now? Is that actually what Judy wrote in her book? The other kids in the room seemed like they weren't really sure what was going on. But let me assure you, every single one of the adults knew exactly what she was trying to say, including me. Oh no. Judy really read that book in front of the whole class and all the other parents? Yep. And you just stood there and let it happen? Why didn't you stop her? Oh my God, this is awful. I am never going to be able to show my face around that school again. Do you realize what this is going to do to my reputation? The teacher did try to cut her off early and move on to the next student, but it didn't work. She just kept right on going. Judy's words were, "Please, I want to read to the end of my story." Since Judy seemed so determined to finish her presentation, I stepped in and asked the teacher to let her continue. You did what? You're insane. You're out of your mind, both you and Judy. You've humiliated me. I'll never hear the end of this. What is wrong with Judy writing a book like that? Where did I go wrong in raising that stinking little brat? What did we do to you? This is all your own doing. Judy did nothing wrong by making that picture book, and I did nothing wrong getting the teacher to let her finish it. You're the one who has quite possibly scarred poor Judy for life. Can you imagine how she must have felt catching you having an affair? I'm not having an affair, you moron! What is the matter with all of you? Who takes the words of some dumb child so seriously? She's making it all up. It never happened. Is that so? I don't know. Her drawings and narrations were very, very detailed. I'd say the most likely explanation is that it's all things that she saw with her own eyes and heard with her own ears. There's no other way she could have made something that detailed. I told you I am not having an affair. It's all lies. She made it up. Well, leaving that aside for now, just know that her picture book was absolutely wonderful. I'll tell my brother all about it too. I think he'll be quite surprised, wouldn't you? In more ways than one. Wait! We can't let my husband know about something as embarrassing as this. It would be awful for me and him too. He's better off not knowing, wouldn't you say? How about we keep what happened today as our little secret? Did you actually think I would agree to hide this from my brother? I'm telling him about everything as soon as possible. Plus, he explicitly asked me to tell him all about what happened at the school observation today. That was the whole reason I went. You don't have to tell him everything, do you? You can, leave out a few minor details. He's a busy guy too, so he doesn't have the time to listen to all the boring stuff that happened during that class. You don't need to worry about a thing. I'll give him a report for you. I'll tell him everything he needs to know. I'm not going to lie for you, Carol. I'm going to give him a full report personally as soon as I possibly can. As a matter of fact, I think he'd love to have Judy present her picture book to him once he gets home from work tonight. Don't you dare! Where are my husband and daughter? I can't find them anywhere. Are they with you? Oh, hello again, Carol. Did you just get home? Typically, when you go out for the day, you don't come home until very late at night. What brought you home so early today? Were you perhaps worried about what would happen when you got there? I have been trying to get a hold of my husband all day, but he's not returning any of my messages, so I hurried home. You told him about Judy's picture book, didn't you? Of course I did. No! You can't keep your big mouth shut, can you? My brother took Judy to our parents' house. Why? It's for Judy's protection. He didn't want her to have to witness the conversation that you're going to have very, very soon. He was getting her out of the house. What conversation? The conversation about your affair. What else could I possibly be talking about? After everything that went down today, are you really going to sit there and pretend that you have no idea why this is happening? Why are you still going on about me having an affair? Give it up already. You were cheating on my brother, weren't you, Carol? How about that wedding you were going to today? Was that all just a cover for you to see your boyfriend? Did you have a nice time together? I'm not lying. I really did go to a wedding. Okay, well then how about you send me a picture of the wedding? I'm sure you took at least one picture of the venue, decorations, food, maybe a selfie with your friend, the bride. I didn't take any. Really? Not even one single picture? Are you serious? As active on Instagram as you are, I refuse to believe that you didn't even take one picture to brag to your followers about. My phone's hard drive was full. I couldn't take any more pictures. That's why I don't have any. I see. Then give me the name of another guest at the party. Actually, I have a better idea. Give me the names of the new couple. That should be easy to do, right? And it would prove that you really did go to the wedding. Why should I? I don't have to prove anything to you. Besides, I don't want to bother the bride and groom on their wedding night. You are really determined not to tell me anything at all about this wedding you went to. Is that because there really wasn't a wedding at all? No, there was a wedding and it was really nice. You could give me the name and phone number of the wedding venue if you're concerned about the bride and groom's privacy. Call up the venue and ask if there was a wedding for a couple with the same name today. Anything at all will be fine. Just give me any piece of information I can use to verify that you were at a wedding today. Fine, I give up. You're right, there was no wedding today. I was lying. I was busy with other stuff. Other stuff? I'm not gonna let you get away with weasel words, Carol. You went to see your boyfriend today, didn't you? Yes. And where did the two of you go together? His place or yours? Neither. We went to an amusement park. And how long have you been seeing each other? About 2 years, I think. This isn't the first time you've skipped one of Judy's school events to see him, isn't it? Have you done this before? Yeah, a couple of times. Unreal. For the longest time, I was completely baffled as to why you never went to any of Judy's school events. At first, I just thought you were an uncaring, uninterested, unaffectionate mother, but now I see that you're actually somehow worse than that. This doesn't have anything to do with you. This is between me and my husband. Now that all of this is out in the open, I want you to know that I never liked you, not for 1 second. I tolerated you because you were my brother's wife and my niece's mother. But that is all over as of today. I have an announcement to make. My brother contacted your parents a little bit ago. What? He called my parents? It was only a matter of time, really. It's looking more and more like a divorce is coming by the second. But why would he call my parents? It looks like they're going to come by our parents' house in the near future. My brother said he wanted to have a discussion about things between both families. I still don't get it. Why would he do that? And why isn't he talking to me about any of this? Do you honestly think that your opinion matters to anyone at this point? I shouldn't have to remind you that everything that's happening right now is 100% your fault. But he's not answering any of my texts or calls. Doesn't he want to hear my side of the story? I'm his wife. Calm down, Carol. You'll get your chance. You'll have plenty of time to give him your excuses once he gets back to your house. I don't want to talk to him in person. That's why I'm trying to get him to talk to me on the phone.
What are you afraid of, Carol? Are you trying to avoid getting called out for what you did? Duh! If he took Judy all the way to your parents' house, he's probably really gonna let me have it. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe assumption to make. But I think what's going to be the absolute worst for you is when your parents come over to talk with him and my parents. Yeah, I realize that. No, I don't think you realize anything. What do you mean? My brother is going to show Judy's picture book to your parents. What? Man, just think about how they're going to react when they hear that Judy presented that book to the whole class and all the parents. The shame and disappointment might give them both heart attacks. No, that cannot happen. You have to put a stop to this. Why? Judy put a lot of work into that book, and she's very proud of it too. I think it's only fair to show it to her grandparents, don't you? Are you joking? You can't let them see that. Of course I can. As a matter of fact, I'm going to my parents' house for that meeting too. Someone's going to have to look after Judy while the adults are having their conversation. What am I going to do? I can't let my parents see that picture book. I would die of embarrassment. I've got it. You have to burn that book. Why should I? You're the only one who can. You have to find that book before your brother shows it to my parents and burn it. It should be easy. You still haven't answered the question. Why should I burn Judy's picture book for you? To protect my good name. Please, I am begging you. At this rate, my family's going to be torn to shreds, and my elderly parents are going to be totally humiliated. You're not worried about them. You're worried about my brother suing you for infidelity. That, and since he's going to seek full custody of Judy, you're going to have to pay him child support. I don't want to get a divorce. What am I going to do without my husband? How am I going to get by? Where am I going to live? If you were so concerned about losing your husband, why would you go and do something as stupid as having an affair? You knew the risks going into it. Well, I mean, you know, I was bored. I wanted a little excitement in my life. I wasn't planning on getting serious about it at all when it first started. Well, you certainly got your wish then, didn't you? I bet this is the most excitement you've ever had in your life. Anyway, there's not a single reason why I should stick my neck out to help you. You've never done anything for me that would merit me doing something to get you out of the massive mess you've made for yourself. How can you be so cold to me? We're sisters, aren't we? Sisters-in-law, but still sisters. You've got to help me. I don't need any sister who would call me ugly. You've treated me with nothing but scorn for as long as I've known you. And now, after all of that, you want me to betray my own brother and help you cover up your affair from your parents? I'm sorry about everything. I'm sorry for calling you ugly. It was all just a joke. I was just teasing you, that's all. Your idea of a joke is telling me that Judy would cry from embarrassment if I came to her school observation day? Yes, that was all one long, elaborate joke. I don't really think you're ugly. It was irony. You're actually really beautiful. So I thought it would be hilarious if I called you ugly because you're not ugly. Get it? Funny, right? I see. Irony. So you actually think I'm beautiful then? I'd like to hear it directly from your mouth. Tell me about how beautiful I am. You're gorgeous. Your clothes are so stylish. Your makeup is perfect, and your hair, it's so silky and shiny. I am super jealous of your looks. Is that so? Yes, you're beautiful. So listen, if you do me a little favor and burn that picture book for me, I will do anything you ask me to do. Anything? That's pretty tempting. I will work to repay you for as long as I live. I will never forget your kindness. And I'll never be a jerk to you or call you ugly ever again. As tempting as your offer is, I still couldn't bring myself to destroy the book that Judy worked so hard to make. I think I'd like her to be able to show her grandparents the product of her hard work, too. I think they'll also be impressed that their granddaughter turned out to be such an impressive girl despite her mother being an amoral harlot. Carol's parents came by my parents' house a few days after that. And the day before that, I heard a knock at my door, and who should show up but the star of the show herself, Carol. I was wondering what in the world she could possibly want at this point, but she got right down on her knees and started begging me to burn Judy's picture book. Unfortunately for her, the book was already in my brother's possession, so it was already too late for her to do anything about it.
After the meeting, Carol and her parents walked out of the room with an absolutely horrendous look on their faces. Carol's father grabbed her by the hair, forced her down on her knees, and told her to confess to every single thing she did to betray my brother and apologize. Shortly after that, my brother divorced Carol. Due to her affair, Carol was left penniless after the divorce, and her parents disowned her and told her never to contact them again. Since her story has made its way around town, I doubt Carol will be able to stay around here for much longer. She'll have to move somewhere else. Judy is the same happy little girl as she always was, and still goes to school with a smile on her face. It seems like the other parents felt so bad for Judy after she made her presentation in class that day that they refrained from gossiping about Carol. They also felt sorry for my brother too, obviously, so they've never brought it up to him at all. I've also taken on a bigger role in my niece's life than I did before. Oh, and as for that picture book, I don't think they're ever going to throw it away. I asked my brother what he did with it, and he told me that he put it in a box way in the back of his closet.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.